Through the insurance business Cranberry Wealth. Cranberry Wealth is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Cranberry Wealth are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Cranberry Wealth is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Cranberry Wealth.
The proceeding was paid for by Cranberry Wealth. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 42 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A Pittsburgh police detective pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant was bitten by a dog that escaped in a home. That's when another officer shot and killed the dog. And then that's when officers chased down the man that they were pursuing and took him into custody. This happened around 3:45 Saturday afternoon in the 100 block of Knox Avenue in Knoxville. A man with that outstanding warrant, he fled into a building when officers arrived. That's when that foot pursuit ensued, and the detective was bitten by a dog. He suffered multiple puncture wounds. He was transported to the hospital in stable condition. The man with the warrant is in the Allegheny County Jail. Well, U.S. and Iranian delegations failed to reach a deal to end the war between them. Vice President J.D. Vance says the Iranians hadn't accepted what he called Washington's final offer. BBC's Persian correspondent Khazra Naji has more.
If you listen to the American side and the Iranian side, both of them are agreeing that the issue of Iran's nuclear program remained a sticking point, a big sticking point. And this is what the American side basically wanted, that Iran will abandon its nuclear program. And that's not what the Iranians are willing to do. And they want to keep some degree of enrichment of uranium in the country because they think this is their right.
KDK Radio News Time at 7:03. AccuWeather the forecast next.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
This is Greg Trusinski from the Original Mattress Factory. I want to share the story of a couple I worked with recently. After receiving a quote from a competitor for a mattress, they visited OMF and found a mattress that was a great fit for them. They were so pleased with our quality and value that they ended up purchasing 2 mattresses, a box spring, headboard, and frame. Their total at OMF was roughly $400 less than what they would have spent on just the one mattress at the competitor. If you're ready to get better sleep for less, visit us at originalmattress.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings clouds, some sun, and a warmer day with a high of 78. And it stays warm tonight as clouds build with a low of 62. Then watch for a shower or two for tomorrow into the early afternoon. Then some sun, high 77. But the warmth really builds in starting Tuesday. Watch for an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, the high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Metropolitan Window video screen. It is Doug Oster, DougOster.com, The Organic Gardener. Go to KDKRadio.com and click on KDK Watch. You can watch and hear it stream live very soon for the next couple of moments. We just want to remind you before we get to Doug. Lots of things happening on the show today. Davy Tree, Talking Tree, a special guest round the bend. But right now, we always begin by giving you the opportunity to win a $25 gift certificate to that incredible place off the Wexford exit. Historic. The Sorgel family. So the 10th caller will win it at 412-922-1020. And Coast of Maine was here yesterday, something Doug is familiar with, and later this month will be a part of that big day out in Bethel Park, Library Road, with Andy at EV True Value. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I've been a big supporter of Coast of Maine for, 20 years now. They have good products. It's organic and just great stuff. And speaking of Sorgels, well, I've finally done it. That is my next pop-up a week from today. Next Sunday, 1 o'clock, you have a chance to buy a plant that has not been available in this area, and it's taken me 10 years to bring it in. It's called Helleborus niger, or the Christmas rose. And if you've listened to the show for any time, you know that this is one of my favorite plants. Usually it is sold as a holiday plant, and then you're supposed to throw it away after 3 weeks. But it is an amazing evergreen perennial that starts blooming at the end of November and blooms through the winter. That's why I love it so much. And so I've partnered with Sorgels to make it to make my dream come true, but hopefully your dream too. You'll be able to buy a really nice-looking Helleborus niger Christmas rose for $10. But we're only doing this one day. Don't call them now and say, I can't come next Sunday. I need to get a plant. The plants are only going to be available next Sunday, 1 o'clock. And it's National Garlic Day, and I'm going to make a surprise super garlicky dish. Probably, I think I'm going to make a creamy ultimate garlic. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be garlicky. It's gonna be a surprise. So next Sunday, 1 o'clock, and if you've ever thought about growing this plant, you would plant it right now, and then at the end of the season, it starts to bloom. It's just amazing, and I can't wait to make this happen. After that day, after next Sunday, if there's any plants left, we will let people know, and then you could go back and get them. But we'll see how it goes. Also, be on the lookout for free compost, especially if you live in Allegheny County and you know where they dump it. If you don't, call your local municipality and say, hey, do you guys give away compost you make out of our leaves? But I've heard they started dumping it, and I did not look in my township to see if it was there yet, but someone told me that they dumped it on Friday. This is the week to go down and see Joe Ham's Daffodil Garden in northern Washington County. That is just an amazing, beautiful garden, and you should see it. It's absolutely free. You'll leave with a handful of beautiful daffodils, and we're just getting towards the end of daffodil season. You should go down and see that garden. All that information is at DougOster.com. My free online garden classes continue Wednesday at 5 o'clock. We're going to talk all about the how and why of organic gardening. And next Saturday, I'll be part of a very special event. We're going to be talking about it after the first break. My friend Bill Senk from the Remember Me Rose Garden is going to be on the show around 7:15, and we're going to talk about what that garden is, It's a very amazing garden out by Flight 93, and the garden was built in the memory of the crew and passengers of Flight 93 on 9/11. And so next Saturday, I'll be giving a presentation called Growing Roses, Perennials, and Other Garden Treasures. It's absolutely free. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Then we're going to go over to the garden. We're going to walk around the garden, do a little hands-on stuff. We'd love to see you out there. It is an amazing garden. And as I said, when we come back from the next break, we'll talk to Bill a little bit about the garden, its meaning, and what I'll be doing out there. I've been getting lots of questions about pruning. And so we need to talk about that. So for spring bloomers, in general, we don't want to prune those because we might be pruning the flowers off. So you wouldn't want to be pruning an azalea or a rhododendron or a dogwood unless it's deadwood. Deadwood can always be removed. We're getting to the point now, and we'll talk to Eric Countryman when he comes on after the 7:30 news break about pruning oaks and elms. They're no longer dormant. So at least I think they're no longer dormant. We'll ask him when we have to stop pruning those. But in general, as I said, when we're talking about those spring bloomers, we want to leave those alone. But, you know, we're looking at roses with dead canes in it. That would be something we would remove. I'm excited. I planted this tree called Franklinia, and they're really hard to grow. They have an interesting story, but it has come back from the winter. It was a big one, and the Franklinia was discovered in Georgia in the 1700s, and it's no longer out in the wild. You can only buy it at a nursery. And so I've always wanted one. It's a late bloomer, kind of has a white flower with like kind of a yellow center, really beautiful. And I've just, I had one that was gifted to me from my friend Dr. Mark Miller from the Pittsburgh Botanic Garden. He gave me one, and he said, you should try and grow this. And it went a couple of years, and it couldn't make it happen. This bigger one that I got actually from Hahn Nursery last year, I got it in at the right time. I got it planted the right way. That's what we're going to talk also to Eric about today from Davy Tree, about planting trees the right way, and it's so important to put it in the right way. So this is kind of a rare tree, and I wanted to give it a try, and I think I have it in the right spot this time, and I know I've got it planted the right way. I'm just going to be sure to keep water on it this summer if things dry out again, as they often do. And real quick, the enchanting Christmas markets of Germany, France, and Switzerland. That's where I'm taking people this winter in November. These Christmas markets are just absolutely amazing. I've seen one in Paris when I traveled there with my family. And, it's just all the crafts and the food and the gifts. And it's just amazing. All that information and everything we've talked about here at the top of the show is at DougOster.com if you need some information on what we just talked about.
All of that still to come in the way of great conversation, great guests, and Eric Countryman, Davy Tree, talking trees. It is the Doug Oster Hour, known as the Organic Gardener. Doug Oster, DougOster.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. O'Neill Cruz got 4 hits and stole 3 bases, and Nick Gonzalez in the 11th inning drove in the winning run. The final, Bucks win 4-3. 2 teams again today at Wrigley. First pitch 2:20. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. Pitt Blue Gold game. Offense beat the defense 46-10. It was Mason Heinzel going 8 for 17 for 48 yards. His best moment came on a 14-yard touchdown to tight end Carson Kent. It was Alexander Ovechkin scoring his 32nd goal here in Pittsburgh and got a standing ovation as the NHL's all-time goal scorer leader. And the Washington Capitals defeated the Pens 6-3. 2 teams again today. They dropped the puck at 3. Rory McIlroy and Cameron Young are tied for the lead heading into the final round of the 2026 Masters after a dramatic Saturday saw McIlroy's record 6-shot lead lead vanished. Young carded a 7 under 65, reached 11 under, matching McIlroy after the defending champ struggled with a 1 over 73. Other key contenders, Sam Burns, Shane Lowry had a hole-in-one yesterday. They remain in striking distance. And the world's number one, Scotty Scheffler, shot a 65. He is 4 shots off the pace. Riverhouse take on Birmingham tonight. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
25 years ago, 40 ordinary Americans became heroes. The Remember Me Rose Garden honors the passengers and crew of Flight 93, and the garden needs your help to get ready for blooming season. Help kick off spring with us on Saturday, April 18th, as gardening expert Doug Oster shares growing tips and hands-on instruction. First at Camp Allegheny, then at the Remember Me Rose Garden. Whether you're a first-timer or a seasoned gardener, there's a place for you here. Save your spot at remembermerosegarden.org. Time to bring some fresh colors to your home. Call Serta Pro Painters. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Indoors, outdoors, get the quality job you want at a price you'll appreciate with a detailed estimate. And each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. So schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com, that's Serta with a C, and take advantage of the spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. That's Serta Pro Painters.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Brian Schlaba here from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh. Born and raised right here. Since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 Pittsburgh homeowners sell their houses quickly and without the stress. No repairs, cleanouts, inspections, or appraisals. We give fast and fair cash offers. Buy your home as is, and you choose the closing day. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057. That's 412-500-9057.
Pittsburgh's local trusted home buyer since 2015.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm joined this morning by Bill Senk. He's president of the Remember Me Rose Garden out in Stoystown. It's very close to the Flight 93 Memorial. Bill, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well, Doug. Thanks very much for having me.
So I've been a big supporter of the Remember Me Rose Garden since day one, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, but boy, last time I was out there, it looks amazing. Tell people what this garden is.
Well, Doug, first of all, we do appreciate your loyalty over the years. You have been to the Rose Garden many, many times. Always appreciate seeing you and always appreciate learning from you. The Remember Me Rose Garden was built as a living memorial to the heroes of Flight 93. It was the desire of the families of the heroes, the 40 crew and passengers who perished on Flight 93, that there be some kind of a memorial rose garden constructed in tribute to their loved ones.
And when people come out there, what will they see?
They will see about a 15-acre site that has multiple significant features to it, including the first memorial ever erected at the crash site, which is a 16-foot wooden cross. You would also see what's called a compass rose. And if you saw it from the air, which was a tip of the hat to the flight attendants who wanted to be able to point to passengers on board their planes to the ground and say that was constructed in honor of our fallen colleagues on United Airlines Flight 93. So it looks like a compass design.
And you can actually see it from like 30,000 feet up, right?
Exactly. Yes, it's massive. So from point to point, it's about a football field long.
So I know there's a lot of perennials growing out there, but roses are the thing, Remember Me Rose Garden. Why roses?
When the design committee that was formed to come up with plans for a national memorial was meeting, there was a gentleman by the name of Michael who came from New York. He was part of the committee. Every time he came to a meeting, he would bring a rose for each of the members of the team. And that sort of spawned the idea of making a rose garden as part of the eventual memorial. And it wasn't practical for the government at the time to co-locate a rose garden with the National Memorial. So it became a separate project, if you will. And it's on property that was donated by the families of the heroes of Flight 93.
How did you get involved in the project?
I actually got involved because my son Ryan was ready to do his Eagle Scout project, and he definitely, adamantly wanted to do something to honor the memory of the heroes and to honor their families. And so his Eagle Scout project was to put teak benches on platforms all the way around the Rose Garden. It's about a half-mile long trail that we now refer to as Ryan's Trail. And it offers people a place to sit and relax, meditate as they walk around the exterior of the garden. So Ryan was well known for his kindness, for his love for other people, and he was passionate about creating some kind of a living memory for the families of the heroes, some way that people could relax and pray and meditate when they came to the garden. And his legacy lives on. He passed in April of 2017 from a brain tumor. And so part of the legacy of the Remember Me Rose Garden is not just the heroes of Flight 93, but it's actually Ryan and Ryan's spirit. We have a large rock that was designed for us that says, "Be kind like Ryan" on it. And it's got his face on the rock as well. And most of the people that come to the Rose Garden find it really a peaceful walk through the woods on Ryan's Trail.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, about the power of this space and actually coming there and visiting it. It is a pretty amazing experience.
Doug, I would tell you, in my estimate, not scientific, but when I'm there and I see visitors coming and going, the people who are walking back, leaving the Rose Garden from the compass rose, from that compass design that I described earlier, about a third of them have tears streaming down their face. And some of them are so choked up that they can't even speak. And that's the kind of emotion that we hope that visitors will feel, that they'll feel the loss. They'll feel the sense of loss that the families must feel at losing their loved ones, and the sacrifice that they made by deliberately bringing down that airplane so that it didn't reach its intended target, which we now know to have been the Capitol building.
Well, I am very excited to be coming out there on Saturday the 18th to present a special seminar, and it'll be great to see you and see everybody else. Tell them what I'm going to be talking about, because I'm not going to blow my own horn for once.
I think you'll be talking about a lot of things, Doug, that will be fascinating no matter what you describe. But the title of the class, if you will, is Growing Roses, Perennials, and Other Garden Treasures. And we've also advertised that this is going to include simple gardening tips and tricks for first-timers and old-timers alike. So it's for the novice as well as the seasoned gardener, and I'm confident you'll have something for everybody.
So Saturday the 18th in the morning, all the information is at DougOster.com and also at your website, right?
It is. It's on our website. It's also on our Facebook page. So you can go to remembermerosegarden.org and find the information there, or on Facebook, simply Remember Me Rose Garden.
Bill, before I let you go, tell me what you want people to get out of their visit to the Remember Me Rose Garden.
Doug, I think we'd like people to walk away with an appreciation for the severity of the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the United States. This is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. It also happens to be the 25th anniversary of the attacks of 9/11. I'd like people to understand that hate, no matter where it is in the world, it isn't to be tolerated. It's not to be tolerated on American soil, or for that matter, any place else. We'd like people to enjoy the Remember Me Rose Garden, from the peace and solitude and the beauty that it offers, and for people to be able to soak that in and to in their hearts understand that this is a tribute to people who gave it all.
Well, Bill, I'll tell you what, it's heartwarming what you're doing out there, and I applaud you for everything that you're doing there at the garden. It is an amazing place. I hope people will come out and see me there on Saturday. We are going to we're going to learn a lot about gardening, but we're also going to learn other things when we walk through that garden. Bill, thanks so much.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you having me.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy sessions, and job skills development. Serving students ages 5 through 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find St. Anthony school programs within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, they have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more or donate at stanthonykids.org.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream. There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean.
Oh my goodness, let's go!
You can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at Y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by Giant Eagle, Pool City, True Green, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 42 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A large water main break flooded parts of Route 22 in the Monroeville area early this morning. It happened near the Old William Penn Highway and the Spitzer Toyota. Drivers in the Monroeville area should use caution if you're anywhere near Route 22 this morning. The Water Authority did shut off the flow of water in that area, but crews are still assessing any damage in that area of Route 22 in Monroeville this morning. A Pittsburgh police detective pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant was bitten by a dog. In response, another officer shot and killed the dog. Then officers chased down the man who they were looking for with the outstanding warrant and took him into custody. The incident happened around 3:45 Saturday afternoon in the 100 block of Knox Avenue in Knoxville. A man with that outstanding warrant fled into a building when officers arrived, and a foot pursuit ensued. That's when the dog escaped from a home in that building and bit the detective. The detective suffered multiple puncture wounds. He was transported to the hospital in stable condition. The man who had the warrant is now in the Allegheny County Jail. Well, Penn Township and Penn Borough merged. The two Westmoreland County municipalities could become one, but first there will be a public meeting on Monday at 6 o'clock about the possible merger. That'll be held in the LLA room of Penn Trafford High School Monday at 6. Trib reports residents can ask questions and give input on the proposed merger prior to the issue being placed on the November election ballot. Penn Borough is the much smaller of the two with 435 residents. Penn Township, meanwhile, has 20,000 residents. If it happens, Penn Borough would be absorbed by Penn Township, forming a united council and other shared public services. KDK Radio News Time at 7:32. We have the AccuWeather forecast just a minute away.
Hey gardeners, why not come to Sorgles this week? Hi, this is Randy Sorgel from Sorgles in Wexford. We have our seeds, our seed starting supplies, soils, trees and shrubs, perennials, and everything you need. Fruit trees, we have a great selection. But coming to Sorgles means so much more. After shopping for your gardening supplies, visit the Home Accents, because if you have small children or grandchildren, you have to see our baby apparel. Of course, we have the home decor, our bakery, deli, gift shop, Naturally Sorgles gluten-free store, ice cream, Arsenal cider, our fruit market with fresh fruit, jams, and jellies, and so much more. We have the tiny town for the kids and the farm animals. So make a day of it. We promise to put a smile on your face. Sorgles, 724-935-2090, just off the I-79 Wexford exit.
Save $10 on a pair of Bosch Focus wiper blades. Our professional parts people will even install them for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A much warmer day is in store today with clouds, some sun at times, and a high reaching 78, but clouds continue to build through tonight, keeping it warm with a low of 62, followed by a shower or two tomorrow into the early afternoon, then some sun, high 77. Tuesday brings clouds and sun with a spotty afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here we go. Be back on Monday. Hope you're enjoying the weekend. We'll talk to you Monday, 2 to 6, right here, KDK.
Always figures he gets the Stones to begin another segment, his favorite.
Last great car song.
All right, before we get to the last great car song and the not last great organic gardener, because he's going to be around for a very long time, Mr. Doug Oster and our very special guest, Eric Countryman, Davy Trees Talking Trees. 10th caller wins an amazing $25 gift certificate to Janoski's in Clinton. That number is 412-922-1020.
And now, it's time for Talking Trees, a service of the Davy Tree Expert Company.
We are joined by Eric Countryman from the Davy Tree Expert Company. First time on video, Eric. I told you I wanted you to wear like an old 1930s sleepwear.
Well, I got out of bed early enough. I could get dressed and comb my hair. So,
first question before we start talking about planting trees and Arbor Day. What about pruning oaks and elms? Has that ship sailed?
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
All right.
I would have said once you see the flowers coming on the oak trees, that's a really good sign to stop. We're still probably about a month away from our beetle activity, which is what we're concerned about with the passing the infection. But this is the good time to stop.
So let's talk about why we're not pruning oaks, because it's important for people to know. And if anybody comes to your home and says, oh, no, we need to prune that oak, that is not what we want to do.
Yeah, that's right. The biggest fear we have is oak wilt disease, which is a fungal infection that gets into the vascular system of your oak trees, and it's moved or brought into the tree from pruning cuts. So open wounds, and also the open wound has the sap that attracts a beetle, which is what carries that infection. So it's a multi-stage thing, but by limiting open wounds, you limit the sap, and you don't have the beetle activity. There are things you can do. Say there's a storm and a big branch breaks out during the summer. You can paint them. There's tree wound paint that helps to seal it up, but you don't want to make a whole lot of cuts if you can help it during this time of the year, because you're just opening it up for infection.
Is that the only time nowadays that we use that tree paint for something like that, or are there other applications for that? Back in the day, that was what they used to tell us to do, put on the tree goop, but since then, we've learned that that's not a good idea. But of course, in the situation with an oak, that you would have to. Are there other applications anymore for tree goop stuff?
No, I don't think so. Trees naturally are able to seal themselves up after something is pruned or a wound is created, and that's generally the better way to go, because you're not sealing in something behind that tree sealant, some other kind of rot or infection. But when an oak or an elm, because elms have the same problem, but it's called Dutch elm disease, then that paint is useful to close up those wounds.
So how would you characterize the spring season so far for trees? Good, bad, indifferent?
Early is what I would say.
Okay.
I think it's been pretty good. We've had plenty of rain, lots of water, and warm temperatures, and early warm temperatures. So even last year was, I thought, early. This was even earlier. So things are running probably 2 weeks ahead of schedule. But otherwise, I think everything's doing pretty well.
And the wet?
We haven't had a really nasty frost, which is also helpful.
And the wet start of the season is not an issue? It's a good thing, huh?
Well, I mean, everything needs water to grow, to make the leaves, to put on its new spring growth. So it's not bad, but I think we all know it's been quite a lot of rain.
So let's talk about planting. And spring is a good time to plant a tree?
Spring's a great time to plant a tree. Anytime is a great time to plant a tree.
I mean, seriously, you're planting in July if you have to?
You can plant in July. It's just, again, it's water. And
Yeah.
You're going to have to water like crazy. And, spring is a good time when the ground is, softening up and, coming out of the freeze from the winter. And, you can get everything situated, enjoy it. And, again, you just got to have to keep it watered.
When does the planting season begin for you guys, or does it ever end?
It does end, but it's, again, the ground freezes, which is, makes it more miserable to try to dig a hole in frozen ground. But I'd say for us, generally mid-March is when, a good time to start planting. And I'm not a great big fan of putting in, especially fresh new plants when there's a possibility of a freeze still coming.
Okay.
But I think we've more pushed past that right now.
Biggest mistake we make as homeowners when putting a tree in?
Wrong tree in the wrong place. I think not realizing how big something is going to get, the space that it's going to take up, and it looks great when it's in the pot that you bought it from the nursery, but 5 years, 10 years later, it's this enormous tree right next to your foundation, right up in the gutters, under the house drop wires, all of that, and keeps us busy, pruning everything back away from those things.
But does it drive you crazy when you drive by? When you see this, when you see new construction, and someone's going to move into that house, and you and I are looking at the trees and the shrubs where they're planted, and just shaking your head, going, "Oh, these people are paying all that money for that landscaping, and in 5 years, in your case, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to be pruning or cutting it down or moving it or removing it."
Yeah, it's a shame, and it can be a waste, right? And all trees are great, but sometimes you need to plant them in a different place. I love a great big weeping willow tree, but you don't want that anywhere near your house. They're messy and dirty and huge, and they're great, but you don't want it near the house. So the right tree in the right place is always my biggest concern.
And of course, besides just the size of it, we got to think about what it wants, right? As far as shade, or it wants to be the dominant tree in the forest. Talk a little bit about that, about those considerations.
Well, of course, I mean, if you're planting it on the north side of your house that doesn't get all the sun, maybe a big evergreen is not your choice, because those big evergreen trees need quite a lot of sunshine. And also, I mean, water is a concern. I think people plant a tree, especially I see close to the house, and forget that there's overhangs, eaves on the house. So the natural rainwater is not going to hit it because it's kind of tucked up underneath. You need to then supplement all that water. Or if it's a tree that really likes a lot of water and you're not providing it, it's going to move toward your sewer lines and your water lines, which is not great either.
How do you prefer that we get this tree? Should it be bare root? Should it be in a pot? Or should it be balled and burlapped?
I'd say balled and burlap is generally your better bet, because you're getting the kind of a cut out of the most natural form of the tree. The next would be a container grown in a pot, but it is very important that you break up that root mass. Typically, if anybody's pulled something out of a pot, you see it's just completely encircled all the roots. That's not going to be a long-term health, good health thing for the tree. So you do want to break all that up. Bare root is fine, but you're not moving it with any of its own soil, and you have to stake it, hold it up, because it's not coming with anything, to hold itself up with.
When we get that in the pot and we pull it out and it's been in the pot for quite a while, we're afraid to cut it all up like that. How rough can we be? And we're afraid we're going to hurt the tree when we do that. So could you explain what we should be doing there?
I don't think you should be that afraid of it. I mean, you don't want it so that you've snapped it completely apart, but I would say it's a 12-inch round pot. I lay it on its side and take a shovel and slice it straight through, roll it, over 90 degrees and slice it again. So you got 4 kind of separations. I think that's plenty. Just taking a knife around the edge and just slicing a little bit here and there isn't probably enough. You really need to break that root mass up.
All right, Eric, when we come back, I've got some more questions about planting. And, of course, as always, I'm going to try and pick your brain about your favorite trees. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts like Eric from Davey Tree at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733.
Well, We'll come back more with Eric Countryman and Doug. Eric, of course, right now, Davy Tree Talking Tree, Metropolitan Window video screen. You can hear it and see it stream live. Go to KDKRadio.com and click on KDK Watch. John Schmutzer today with me in the 9 o'clock hour, Metropolitan Window. Next hour, leftover ham recipes and more. And, of course, it is Orthodox Easter. So happy and blessed Easter to our friends of the Orthodox faith. Coming up on the Coons Cooking Hour, all sorts of delicious recipes. 10 o'clock, Accurate Solutions. And I got a jam-packed Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show today. Joe Giordano, former Pitt Panther baseball coach, now with IMG Academy, drops by. We'll talk about the Pirates who are on a roll. Big day yesterday for O'Neill Cruz. Gets 4 hits, 3 stolen bases. They win in the 11th inning against Chicago. 2 teams again today in Chicago. All the action on 93.7 The Fan. Also, former Green Bay Packer lineman Coach Barkley, now Seneca Valley High School football coach. We get ready for the NFL draft, and Ted Arnaud is back as well today. So a lot to get to. And, of course, the Masters, where right now Cameron Young and Rory McIlroy are tied for the top spot heading into the 4th and final round at the course that, well, was built many years ago by Bobby Jones, the Masters at Augusta. So we have a lot between now and 1. Stay where you're at, KDK. More with Eric Countryman, Davy Tree Talking Trees, and Doug Oster next on KDKA.
We're only 11 days until the draft. Everything you need to know surrounding the draft is right here. It's brought to you by Bill Few Associates Wealth Management, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hey, it's your Pratt Pack for Janoski's in Clinton. Garden Center is now open and greenhouse beginning at 8 o'clock each and every day. So stop in for perennials, trees, shrubs, decorative garden accessories, pots, mulches, soils, compost, and more. And don't forget, in that delicious greenhouse, they've got kohlrabi, green onions, pickling cucumbers, mini seedless cuts of lettuce, and Swiss chard, all available. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And don't forget, the best selection of pond plants and statuary are going to be there soon. Janoski's, Route 30 in Clinton.
Don't know who to trust? Go with the sure thing. PJ Fitzpatrick has been your trusted roofer for 45 years. They've earned thousands of 5-star reviews and back all new roofs with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. The PJ Fitzpatrick team of experienced professionals install most roofs in just one day. Set up a free consultation this month to save thousands. Plus, they have a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Don't wait. Visit trustpj.com today.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. O'Neill Cruz got 4 hits and stole 3 bases, and Nick Gonzalez in the 11th inning drove in the winning run. The final, Bucks win 4-3. 2 teams again today at Wrigley. First pitch 2:20. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. Pitt Blue Gold game. Offense beat the defense 46-10. It was Mason Heinzel going 8 for 17 for 48 yards. His best moment came on a 14-yard touchdown to tight end Carson Kent. It was Alexander Ovechkin scoring his 32nd goal here in Pittsburgh and got a standing ovation as the NHL's all-time goal scorer leader. And the Washington Capitals defeated the Pens 6-3. 2 teams again today. They've dropped the puck at 3. Rory McIlroy and Cameron Young are tied for the lead heading into the final round of the 2026 Masters after a dramatic Saturday saw McIlroy's record 6-shot lead vanish. Young carded a 7-under 65, reached 11-under, matching McIlroy after the defending champ struggled with a 1/73. Other key contenders, Sam Burns, Shane Lowry, had a hole-in-one yesterday. They remain in striking distance. And the world's number 1, Scotty Scheffler, shot a 65. He is 4 shots off the pace. Riverhounds take on Birmingham tonight. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
Tickets are on sale now for the upcoming season of the Pittsburgh Speaker Series at Heinz Hall, presented by University of Pittsburgh, with Anderson Cooper, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, historian Anne Applebaum, financial journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, former NASA Administrator Charles Bolden, and acclaimed war photographer Lindsay Addario. For information and tickets, go to pittsburghspeakers.org. Sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, a couple more minutes left before we move to the news at 8, but we're going to make every second count. Let's get back now to Doug, and of course, joining us in the Metropolitan Window video screen, KDKRadio.com, KDK Watch, our good friends from Davy Trees. It's Davy Trees Talking Trees, Eric Countryman. Doug.
All right, Eric, we're talking tree planting. We've got the right tree for the right place. We have taken it out of the container, and we have cut those roots out a little bit to make sure that it grows the right way. Now, how about digging our hole? How big should that hole be?
I recommend that the size of the root ball that you have, either from the container or your bulb and burlap, or however you've have it, make it twice as big. So if it's a 2 foot wide root ball, make it a 4 foot wide hole. That's generally enough. That way you have enough loose soil around that root ball that it has easy room to grow its new roots into.
And we want that native soil there, right? We're not throwing a bunch of compost in?
I don't think it's necessary. I think it's better to have your native soil, the soil it's going to live in. But the biggest thing is making sure it's loose. It's easy to dig a hole and almost glaze it, so it's like a clay pot. You're almost putting the tree back into. You want to scuff up all of that surrounding dirt and soil around that where the root ball is going to be, so that it's nice and loose and the roots have room to move into.
And how about depth? I know that's a big deal. You've taught me that that's a big deal, that people oftentimes plant their trees too deep.
Yeah, that's a very common thing. When you plant your tree, you want to see where that root flare is. So it's when the trunk of the tree turns into the roots of the plant, and you can generally see that transition point that should be above ground. You don't want that buried below. So that's your kind of level set, and everything should kind of come up to meet that. A lot of people put it, bury it, 3-4 inches deep into the ground, and what happens is those roots that you're hoping will grow into that soil just never can take hold. It's too, it gets basically suffocated.
Yeah, and you've taught me also that when you do buy that either balled or burlapped or in the container, that sometimes that soil can be above the root flare, right?
Yeah, it is. A lot of times in a, ironically in a tree nursery, where they're growing these, a lot of times they are buried a little bit too deep. And a good nursery will knock that extra soil off the top and expose that root flare before they burlap it, and sell it to you. Not all do. So it is important that you open up your plant, or if you get it in a container, the same thing, you're knocking that extra, inch or two off the top of your root ball, so that you're not, inadvertently planting it too deep.
And then watering.
Typically per inch of diameter is about 10 gallons of water a week. So on a regular week, if it gets hot and dry, then maybe you need to supplement it to 2 to 3 times a week. But infrequent deep watering is what helps your trees establish themselves. So, just waving the hose over it once a day isn't probably enough. It is best to leave something on a slow trickle and really flood your root ball, but only do that, a couple of times a week. Another thing that I do, cheap, easy fix, is take a 5-gallon bucket, poke a hole in the bottom of it, and place it near the base of your tree and fill it up, and let that water just slowly come out of the bucket. And then you've put 5 gallons of water on it. So an easy hack.
And if we have a season like last year where we had this beautiful wet spring and then we go into drought, when you plant a tree in the spring, that tree is going to need water.
Yep. Yeah, all summer. And that's it's easy to forget about it. But, sometimes, like even I said, there's things you can buy, watering bags that, tie around the base of the tree. There's the, 5-gallon bucket method, but you generally do need to do something. And even having a visual reminder of the 5-gallon bucket or the watering bag can remind you to go out and fill it up because that tree's going to need it.
And then mulching the right way.
Yep, mulching is good. 2 to 3 inches of fresh mulch, but we don't want it piled up, up the base of our tree. Just like we talked about planting too deeply, over mulching kind of has the same problem of you've now buried your tree. So it's better not to put your mulch right up against the trunk, but leave it a few inches away in kind of like a shallow, basin around the trunk of your tree. But and you want it, 2 to 3 feet wide, enough to kind of what would be underneath the canopy of your new tree.
All right, Eric, great stuff. Appreciate it as always. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts from Davey at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733. Thanks again, Eric. Now, join me next Sunday, 1 o'clock at Sorgel's. That's where we're going to be selling you this beautiful perennial Christmas rose. Check my website, DougOster.com, for that. Remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow.
News coming up next. Then we're talking leftover ham and more on the Coons Cooking Hour, KDKA.
Ring in the spring gardening season at the Remember Me Rose Garden's first volunteer event of 2026. On Saturday, April 18th at 9 a.m., join celebrated gardening expert Doug Oster for a morning of practical tips on growing roses, perennials, and garden treasures for beginners and experienced gardeners alike. Located in Somerset County, this beloved garden serves as a living tribute to the 40 heroes of Flight 93. Learn more at remembermerosegarden.org.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural, drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Are you prepared for winter storms and possible power outages? Duquesne Light Company urges you to prepare your emergency kit ahead of the next storm. Stock up on bottled water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, a first aid kit, and warm blankets to keep you and your family safe and comfortable. And don't forget to charge your devices. A little preparation goes a long way. Learn more about how to prepare for storms year-round at DuquesneLight.com/stormplan. That's DuquesneLight.com/stormplan.
Attention Pittsburgh area residents. If you have Medicaid and need help with activities of basic living, Freedom Care can make it easy. With Freedom Care, the person who cares for you can be someone you love, your family, your friend, or a trusted neighbor. They can assist you with meals, bathing, eating, mobility, and more, and Medicaid pays them for your care. You stay in the home you love, surrounded by the people you choose, and it's 100% free to you. Don't wait. Call Freedom Care now. Call 412-981-1620. With Freedom Care, you get the care you need, and your loved one gets paid instantly after every shift. Feel better, heal better, and live better at home with Freedom Care. Call 412-981-1620 or visit freedomcare.com today. That's 412-981-1620. Again, 412-981-1620. 412-981-1620.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
It's Deck Days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep.
really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 43 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police detective pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant was bitten by a dog. That dog was then shot by an officer and later died. Officers then chased down the man and took him into custody. Now, this whole incident started around 3:45 Saturday afternoon in the 100 block of Knox Avenue in Knoxville. When police arrived at that location, a man with an outstanding warrant fled into the building. A foot pursuit ensued. That's when a dog escaped and bit that detective. The detective suffered multiple puncture wounds. He was transported to the hospital in stable condition. The man with the warrant was caught, as mentioned, and is now in the Allegheny County Jail. A large water main break flooded parts of Route 22 overnight in Monroeville, happened near the old William Penn Highway and Spitzer Toyota location. The water authority was able to shut off the flow of water in that area, but crews are still assessing the damage. So a reminder, if you're driving in that part, in parts of Route 22, there could be detours in that area this morning. U.S. and Iranian delegations have failed to reach a deal to end the war between them. CBS News correspondent Shauna Mizell has more.
Vance, along with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, spent more than 20 hours in face-to-face negotiations in Islamabad, Pakistan, hoping to reach a deal to further advance last week's ceasefire.
We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
KDK Radio News Time, it's 8:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
I have questions for you. Do you think any of us grow up wanting to be fat and unhealthy? Do you think any of us want to be put on more meds? Do you think any of us want to keep buying bigger clothes year after year? How about feeling tired all the time and not feeling good? I think not. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Many of these issues are positively changed with our diet. You don't know what to put in your mouth? You don't have the willpower? That's why you deal with me. Call me at 1-800-900-THIN. We can make great things happen in a short period of time.
Are you turning 65 and have questions about Medicare? Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage in Pennsylvania with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. You may also qualify for a monthly credit toward your Part B premium. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Concerned about traveling during the upcoming draft? Don't be. KDKA Radio and AAA Traffic have you covered. We'll expand our draft coverage with all-day traffic reports on your radio and your social media feeds. It's brought to you by AAA Travel. Travel with someone you trust. And by 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings clouds, some sun, and a warmer day with a high of 78. And it stays warm tonight as clouds build with a low of 62. Then watch for a shower or two for tomorrow into the early afternoon. Then some sun, high 77. But the warmth really builds in starting Tuesday. Watch for an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, the high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
Orthodox Easter today, again, as I've been saying all morning, a blessed holiday to those of our friends from the Orthodox faith. But today, we who celebrated last week, we're going to be talking leftovers, as in those ham sandwiches and more. But we have got so much on our mind, but you know how it works. You phone in, and if you give us a recipe, you may be taking home a $25 gift certificate. We will draw some lucky listener's name at the end of the hour. So also, Orthodox Easter traditions are always welcome on this very holy day. Again, for our friends of the Orthodox faith. Number to dial is 866-391-1020. One thing's for sure, these hams can be big enough to give people more than just one meal, and it can last well into a week or two after the holiday, especially you think about the bone to make soup and to freeze and to take those slices out and reinvent them, maybe even in an omelet for a Sunday morning. Is that not right? Good morning, Frank Dentisi.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, and play it smart. Take the leftover ham you have, slice it down, and use the ends of it you can use for chunks or something like that for salads. But take that extra and put it in the freezer. Don't waste it. You don't have a time clicking the clock ticking on this item as it's sitting in the fridge as you're trying to think of all different ways to have ham. Put it in the freezer in smaller packs so that you have a recipe that you want to use in a few weeks, even or two months. You have it already packaged up as long as you do it right. Get the air out of the package and wrap it tight so it don't get freezer burned, and you can just pull that out any time. Even if you want to cut the ham into a smaller quarter so that you can heat it up just like you did before, cook it off and put a little small glaze on it and have it as a traditional ham. Yet again, those kind of things, making sure that you're not wasting. None of us can afford to waste the food, and it's not right to waste the food. So utilizing what you have to do that. And of course, leaving some out for now, whether you want to have a ham steak that night, just takes a couple slices of ham, put it in a frying pan just to heat it up real quick and get some nice green beans or mashed potatoes, something like that for a side, or make it, right when it's cold. Just grab a couple slices, some mayonnaise, lettuce and tomato, a little bit of salt and pepper on there. You got a nice ham sandwich without having to go and spend a lot of money on buying lunch meat, for instance. You paid, especially if you did our Sugardale semi-boneless at $119 a pound compared to $8, $9, $10 a pound in a deli. So slicing those down for ham sandwiches works out great, and pair it up different things. Chicken cordon bleu, which you can make the boneless chicken breast with this ham and Swiss in there, and baking it, stuffing that chicken breast and baking them off, breaded on the outside, those kind of things. But making sure that you're not wasting anything, especially with ham, it's being so versatile. It's already cooked even when you got it, and you have those leftovers can be used in lots and lots of different ways.
All right, the other thing, when you think of Orthodox Easter, they do something a little bit different. They actually also use lamb. So lamb is something that we could talk a little bit about today. If you do it right, it can really be good, right, Frank?
Right. We use all American lamb, and it's processed up in Detroit, Michigan. And lamb doesn't have that strong flavor that it did in the past. It has a unique flavor to itself. It's like a little bit of a stronger flavor than meat, but not real strong. It's just know that you're eating lamb is basically what it is. And you can cook that the same as you do beef. You can go to a medium rare. A lot of people have them this time of year for lamb legs. Whether you got a semi-boneless or a boneless lamb leg. That's why most people are having this time of year. But, they're all year long. We sell a lot of lamb chops, and we sell a lot of ground lamb. There are people using lamb patties, lamb burgers, or mixing it in with beef to give a different flavor. I know growing up, having kebabs, so they're doing the ground lamb on metal kebab sticks. A friend of mine across the street, we'd go over there and they'd have kebabs, and sometimes it was beef, sometimes it was lamb. And having that over a bed of rice with, whatever you want with the rice. They would either bake off an eggplant, or they would crack a couple eggs, raw eggs, mix that yolk right into the rice, and a little bit of mint in there. Sometimes different flavors that they enjoyed. But the mint itself pairs well with the lamb. So yeah, but lamb doesn't have the following it has in even Eastern Europe or in Europe itself. But it does have it still does have a growing thing here, especially with lamb chops, been gaining in popularity. And again, of course, this time of year. So we always sell a little bit more than we've done the previous years, and just everyone knowing that it's an American lamb. We're not importing that. It's going to be as fresh as possible as what you're going to have. And we have great products here in the United States.
Yeah, again, Easter Orthodox Recipes, of course, they are celebrating that wonderful holiday today, our friends of the Orthodox faith. Their Easter eggs are just dyed red, and they eat a lot of those eggs, and they have rich, ooey gooey pastries, too. So if you want to jump in on that, feel free, 866-391-1020, talking leftover Easter recipes, including that delicious ham. Let's go to Mary Lee in Beaver, Pennsylvania, on the Coons Cooking Hour. Hi, Mary Lee. How are you?
Hi. Very well. Good morning. Christ is risen. In the Orthodox Church, we tell each other Christ is risen, and we respond by saying, indeed, he is risen. I have a Holy Friday recipe. Could I use that? And explain why we... Okay, great. Well, during Holy Week in the Orthodox Church, no meat is eaten. On Holy Friday and Holy Saturday, no dairy is eating. The only fish that we can eat is shrimp and lobster, because they have no blood. We do this because we receive the body and blood of Christ on Pascha. They are in the Orthodox Church, it's one. It's never separated. But for my recipe for Holy Friday, I prepare spaghetti noodles because they have no dairy in them. I do it according to the package directions. Then I put Italian dressing or oil and vinegar in a separate pan. I add peeled and deveined shrimp until it's pink. And you can add, on your shrimp, you could put, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, parsley, whatever you would like. Then I mix them together, and we serve that. That's our Holy Friday meal.
And you know what? That's a good meal for a lot of times. That's a really quick and easy meal to put together with a lot of flavor.
It is, and it's the spices. Use onion powder, garlic, whatever you want on the shrimp. Just give it some flavor.
Yeah.
Because you can't use dairy. So that kind of makes, gives it something, flavor to it.
Yeah, you can't use dairy, but it gives you opportunity to spice things the way, some different spices to mix together for that flavor. Oh,
yes,
excellent.
It does.
All right, Mary Lee. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful and blessed Easter. Let's go to Patty in Dormont on KDK's Coons Cooking Hour. Hey, Patty.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I have a recipe for ham hash. That you use your leftover ham for and your leftover potatoes. And you just put some butter or tallow in a skillet and saute a diced onion. And then you grind up your ham like you would for ham salad, as much as you would like to use. You add that to the onion once it's cooked. Add your paprika, garlic powder, onion powder to that. Then you take your cooked potatoes and you add it to that and mix it all together. Add a cup of water and just let it all bubble and sizzle on the stove for a little while and serve it up and eat it. You can fry an egg, put it on top of it. My husband likes to put it on a piece of bread and eat it that way. It's delicious. It's as good as corned beef hash.
Oh, very good. I'll have to try that one, too, because I love corned beef hash. I got to try that with the ham.
It's delicious. It is delicious.
I
have to say thank you very much.
Patty,
I enjoy your show.
Patty, real quick before you go, who came up with that?
I did.
Voila. You should maybe label that up and put it on a grocery shelf at Coons Market. We're going to get to Diane in Valencia in just a couple of moments. She's got a lamb recipe. So if you have a recipe for Easter Orthodox, talking lamb or leftover ham, we want to hear from you. For those of us who celebrated recently Easter Sunday. So call us, 866-391-1020. Lots of great things on sale at Coons Market, including in our meat department. Boneless chuck shoulder steaks or roast, $5.99 a pound. Let's talk about the meat department, then we'll go to break. Frank.
Yeah, in our meat department, of course, you said the shoulder steaks or roast, $5.99 a pound. Boneless pork sirloin chops or roast, great price at $2.49 a pound. Fresh split chicken breasts are $2.89 a pound. And 80% lean fresh ground beef at $5.99 a pound. Always great deals here at our stores in Coons.
Yeah, and how do you find that Coons Market nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com. Of course, McKnight Road, Hopewell, Ingomar, Banksville Road, Beulah Road, that new store under construction at Bellevue as we continue to be open on Lincoln Avenue. Hopefully this summer, the new store will be up and running, along with Highwood Street, historic north side of Pittsburgh, and Ferguson Road. It's the Coons Cooking Hour. We have a couple lines available. We're talking Easter Orthodox recipes such as lamb, entrees, desserts, and Easter ham as far as leftover ham from those of us who celebrated it a little earlier. 866-391-1020. Someone's going to get a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market in just a little while.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt.
I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them.
What?
Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean?
I guess.
Their gloves come off when they fight for you.
Okay.
I'm talking a settlement slap shot.
Shouldn't we be talking about the game?
Yeah, Dan. Morgan & Morgan. Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Offices Pittsburgh.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Suffering from peripheral neuropathy? Learn how over 15,000 sufferers regained their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State Neuropathy Center's successful treatment plan that is FDA cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free. Here's Sean Ritchie, DC, and Tri-State's founder about one of their many satisfied patients.
One thing I like about having the most effective treatment protocol on the market for peripheral neuropathy is the stories that we hear. Like Karen from Export. She suffered with neuropathy for 3 years, and it got so bad that she couldn't even wear her normal shoes. In fact, she got rid of them and can only wear Skechers. After going through the program, now she's able to wear any shoes she wants, and she's very disappointed that she got rid of all her other shoes.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Karen. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for an initial free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy. Learn more at marydanston.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Orthodox Easter today. Again, happy and blessed Easter to our friends of the Orthodox faith. And we're talking recipes to celebrate this holiday and the traditional Easter that many of us had recently. We're talking leftover ham recipes and everything from Easter. You know, the other thing, before we get to Diane, all those hard-boiled eggs, you can do a ton of stuff with them, Frank.
Oh, yeah, especially just having those hard-boiled eggs. But, you know, you like those deviled eggs?
Oh.
Just take those hard-boiled eggs, peel them, cut them in half, take the yolks out, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of mayonnaise, mixing that up, a little bit of paprika, and then all you have to do is either spoon it in back into those half eggs or into the half egg whites, or you can use a piping bag to make it a little prettier. But you just put that back in there. I know one time I did them where I took avocado and mixed it in with the yolk, and you got green eggs. But a lot more even filling if you want to add a little more fat, a little more protein in there. That avocado actually worked out good, gave it a whole different flavor as well. So just doing something simple like that, or you're having a salad, you cut up some of that ham into small cubes, cut up some of dice up some of those eggs. If you have a screen that you use for coaling, like a coaling screen that you use for like if you make cookies or bread or something like that, you take it out. It's like has little squares in it. It's a coaling rack. If you have one of those, you just take the hard-boiled eggs, pull them. Obviously you peel them, but then you just push it through that screen and you don't have to bother cutting them up. And then you can make an egg salad out of there, or you can take them and put that over just a regular tossed salad with some of those ham cubes and some nice oil and vinegar, salt, pepper, and oregano, and you're done. A nice, easy salad.
Love it. All right, here we go. It's Diane in Valencia. Diane, let me ask you and Frank this before you get going, because you're the experts here. It seems as though the incredible edible egg, if any of these social media influencers or any physical fitness guru, they always start the day, Frank and Diane, with, I start my day with 4 eggs or 5 eggs. So are eggs really that healthy for you? And if you're trying to build protein and you're working out, can they give you a great source of protein? Frank, you first.
It is a great source of protein, and you're getting the fats along with it. It's something that'll keep you full. It'll keep you satisfied until lunchtime even. I wouldn't have just that. I would add some kind of, easy carb with it, like an ancient grain bread, a rye bread toasted in the morning. To go along with it actually helps out too. It gives you that quick energy. Because the egg's not going to give you that quick energy where the carb does. Plus, it balances some things. It balances things out. So yeah, it's definitely a great source of protein.
So what do you think, Di?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. In fact, I have a dear friend who has her girls, as she calls them, her chickens, right? So I get to treat myself with some farm fresh eggs here and there, as well as buying them at the store, of course. But yeah, I have another friend that her go-to every morning is 3 egg whites, 2 whole eggs, whip those up. If you use a submersible blender, and a lot of people are stuck on these egg whites, add in a yolk or 2. It's not going to kill you. In fact, you need that extra omega. That's what keeps our brains going and staying sharp. And people don't realize these days they're trying to diet. If you don't have enough protein, you're cheating yourself. You're cheating your energy levels. And, adding on some avocado, if it's fresh or frozen. If you get that fresh avocado, put a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of kosher salt, squeeze some fresh lime juice, lemon to spruce it up with a little bit of flavoring. Add that on top of your eggs on a piece of toast. You've got a great morning starter lunch even. You can put a piece of bacon or a piece of fried ham on it. It's a great go-to for sure, you know?
Well, Frank, when we take a vacation, she's going to host the show. I tell you, I've got the smartest listeners on the planet at this radio station. Well done, Diane. Okay, let's talk lamb.
No, thanks, guys.
Excellent. That was excellent. Lamb marinade. Go ahead.
Yeah, so with this, I use an electric roaster. And if you can marinate your lamb a good day or 2, minimum of 12 hours for me. I usually use about an 8 to 10 pound boneless leg of lamb. If you can, leg is fine. You're going to need about 10 to 15 cloves of garlic. You're going to use half to put in the lamb, as well as the other half are going to be minced. You're going to need about a third to a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, about a tablespoon of sea salt, a half a tablespoon of ground white pepper. The following, you're going to need fresh bunches of mint leaves, flat leaf parsley, fresh chives, thyme sprigs, rosemary. You're going to need 1 large Vidalia onion, a large red onion, 3 large shallots. And what you're going to do is take and make 1-inch slits in your lamb. Take the flat side of your knife, take half of those garlic cloves, smash them, shove them in those slits that you have on your leg of lamb all over. The more the merrier, but some people don't like as much garlic. And then you're going to take all of your fresh herbs, put it in your food processor with the olive oil. Take 1 whole lemon, fresh lemon, juice it. You can do even a lemon and a half. It depends upon the size of your lemon. Put that in your food processor, pulse it, make up like your marinade. Pour that all over your leg of lamb. I use a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. So put your leg of lamb in first, pour over your marinade, and then set a timer for every so many hours in your refrigerator. Go and turn that around. at the end of the marinade process, I put it in my electric roaster, leave all the coverings of that on, sprinkle a little bit of sugar on it. That's going to help take that marinade mixture and build a nice crust. I put it on the roasting rack, usually like 300, 325. It'll take a couple hours, but the slower roasting process is going to give you a final better product at the end. And I believe that you only need to make sure it gets to about 160. You can put it in your oven at the end if it doesn't get that nice little crusty topping essence of it. I also sometimes will throw in some quartered up pieces of the onion and extra pieces of the fresh herbs to sort of give it more of that flavor. A friend of mine turned me on to something called frika, which is a fire-roasted baby wheat. I've made that up with some olive oil, finely minced Vidalia onion, some shallots, sea salt, and use either vegetable, beef, or chicken stock. And you can grab some spring vegetables of onion bulbs, snap peas, baby carrots, asparagus, and, steam those up with some garlic cloves, mint, parsley. You've got a great meal.
Strong.
Oh, definitely a great meal. Something that's special around the holidays here. Around, Easter and Orthodox Easter, and people enjoying different things. And lamb's one of those. As you get as a boneless roast, it's not something that you have all the time, so it really makes it special.
Good stuff, Diane. Listen, you hit it out of the park today. 5-star. We appreciate it.
No, thank you guys. Great show. And another quick little tidbit, throw in some tofu when you're making silken tofu, when you're making those deviled eggs. It bulks up the protein, and people will never know that you have it in it because it takes on whatever seasoning and flavors, if you're heavy on the paprika or whatever. But it can also make it a little bit lighter, but it bulks up your protein. So another good go-to snack.
Excellent.
Yeah, great tip there.
Good stuff. Thanks, Diane. All right, Father Joe. God bless. It would not be Orthodox Easter without Father Joe dropping by. And also, Chuck in Shaler's got some ham cabbage on his mind. 866-391-1020. Celebrating Orthodox Easter today on the Coons Cooking Hour. Your Pratt Pack, KDKA.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. People often ask me why our mattresses last so long. The answer is simple. We build them right. Not only are OMF mattresses durable, they give you peace of mind from day one. When you invest in a mattress from OMF, you're investing in better sleep tonight and smart savings for years to come. No more frequent replacements, no more wasted time shopping. To learn more about the true value of durability, visit originalmattress.com and read our latest blog on getting the most from your mattress investment.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know that convenience is key. That's why we've made mattress shopping simple and stress-free. Shop in-store or online, whatever works best for you. No high-pressure sales tactics or fake promotions. Our prices are clearly marked, and we openly compare our products to other brands. With our streamlined selection, you won't be overwhelmed by duplicate options, and our 365-day comfort policy provides for peace of mind. Experience the ease of buying factory direct. Visit OMF today for better sleep tonight.
Did you know that the only cause of mesothelioma is exposure to asbestos? Did you know that many local area tradesmen were exposed to asbestos and didn't even know it? The sad reality is asbestos-related diseases are often fatal, yet entirely preventable. Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky, and White understands the complexities of asbestos exposure and are dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve. GPW can't change the past, but we'll work to transform your future. Call 1-800-COMPLEX to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Pittsburgh is on the clock. Our comprehensive draft coverage is powered by Bowser Chevrolet. It's more than just the players. It's the vibe of the city. Where to go? What to do? We have you covered. It's presented by Target Freight Management and brought to you by your local AAA travel office and by Groundworks, formerly Baker's Waterproofing. On the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 47 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A large water main break flooded parts of Route 22 overnight in Monroeville. It happened near Old William Penn Highway and the Spitzer Toyota location. Drivers in that area are asked to use caution as crews are working to assess and repair that water main this morning. Pittsburgh police detective who was pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant was bitten by a dog. Another officer shot and killed the dog, and then officers then chased down the man and took him down into custody. This incident happened Saturday afternoon around 3:45 in the 100 block of Knox Avenue. It's in Knoxville. A man with that outstanding warrant fled into a building when the officers arrived, and that foot pursuit ensued. That's when the detective suffered multiple puncture wounds when he was bitten by a dog. He was transported to the hospital in stable condition. The man with the warrant is now in the Allegheny County Jail. Penn Township and Penn Borough in Westmoreland County, will they merge? Well, first, there will be a public meeting Monday about that possible merger. Meeting will be held in the LLA room of Penn Trafford High School, and the Trib reports that residents can ask questions and give input on the proposed merger prior to the issue being placed on the November election ballot. That meeting is at 6 p.m. Monday at Penn Trafford High School. Penn Borough is the much smaller of the two municipalities with only 435 residents. Penn Township has about 20,000 residents. If the merger ends up happening, Penn Borough will be absorbed by Penn Township, forming a united council and other shared public services. U.S. and Iranian delegations failed to reach a deal to end the war between them. CBS News correspondent Shauna Mizell with the latest.
Vance, along with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, spent more than 20 hours in face-to-face negotiations in Islamabad, Pakistan, hoping to reach a deal to further advance last week's ceasefire.
We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
KDK Radio News Time, it's 8:32. We have the AccuWeather forecast next.
Hey, it's Marty. Are you tired of pain or fear of falling that's holding you back, struggling with balance, neuropathy, or joint pain? At Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, physical therapy is done differently because you are different. Folks, this place is amazing. I've seen it firsthand. Shoulder pain, knee pain, balance issues. They attack it and work it, and it works. Call today. Monroeville Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200.
Is there constantly someone in the family fighting a cold? Fight back with Sniper, a hospital-grade disinfectant that kills viruses and bacteria, and it won't hurt your skin, your pets, or our environment. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Get Sniper. It's safe to use in your home and office. Simply spray and walk away to kill germs for maximum protection. Pick up a bottle of Sniper at your local True Value store or visit disinfectwithsniper.com. Get it now.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A much warmer day is in store today with clouds, some sun at times, and a high reaching 78, but clouds continue to build through tonight, keeping it warm with a low of 62, followed by a shower or two tomorrow into the early afternoon, then some sun, high 77. Tuesday brings clouds and sun with a spotty afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here he is. Father Joe would not be Orthodox Easter without getting a blessing and saying good morning to him. Father, great to have you back on KDK. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Rob, and good morning, Frank. It's been a long time. I used to call you often when I was retired, but now I'm in church at 8 o'clock Sunday morning, so I don't get to speak to you as I used to. I wanted to say that many people have an adversity to lamb because of the way they've eaten it. Of course, the best way is when it's roasted on a spit. And for those of us of Serbian, Greek background, roasting on the spit is it's a prerequisite. Yesterday, my oldest nephew and my closest friend, they were in his spit roasting lamb on two different rods. And last night, when I finished our Paschal liturgy at 1:30 in the morning, we were in Olympia Hall in East Pittsburgh eating lamb.
Nice.
It's the only way to break the fast.
Yeah, and that slow roast and self-marinating itself is now that's going to get the perfect combination of flavor on the inside and that nice crispiness on the outside.
Absolutely. You know, and it isn't a sophisticated recipe. You impregnate the lamb with some cloves of garlic and you salt it down well. And the Greeks in particular, when they finish it, they'll finish it with a mixture of olive oil and oregano and lemon juice, whereas the Serbs just leave it with the salt and the garlic. But either way, once you've eaten it that way, I've had many people who've turned their nose up to lamb, but when they've eaten it this way, have said, what a difference.
So let me ask you, Father, desserts. They talk about ooey gooey rich desserts. What are some of the desserts of choice for Orthodox Easter?
Well, I mean, the Greeks in particular, you know, they love baklava.
Yeah.
So and again, strictly speaking, dairy products are not to be eaten during all of Lent. So baklava is you know, loaded with butter, each layer as they're forming it. So it's a real treat when we get to Pascha. And of course, there are so many others. Galak de Buriko, which is if you ever go to a Greek festival, you have to order Galak de Buriko. It's a custard in phyllo. And my sons, when they were little boys, used to call them galactic burritos. It is once you eat it, believe me, you won't be able to get enough of it.
So when it comes to church services on this day for people, and I have been to Orthodox churches many times, but explain what differences, if any. Go ahead, Father.
Well, the church services are very lengthy all of Holy Week. I mean, we have church every day from Lazarus Saturday, the day before Palm Sunday, and we have them in the morning and we have them in the evening. And they all take us through all the events leading up to Christ's passion, his crucifixion, and his resurrection. Now, just for example, yesterday we had the liturgy in the morning of Holy Saturday, which is when we read the first resurrection gospel, but we don't start celebrating the feast until Saturday night. And we started last night after 10 o'clock, and we concluded around 1 o'clock this morning. That's the Matin service, and then the Divine Liturgy.
Some of these churches, Frank, are absolutely stunning. You know what I think about when I've been in them, Aliquippa or Midland, most of the time is where I go, is the craftsmanship. And those steel mills and coal mines paid big dividends back then. But how many of these people who really learned their craft by, working for some of these major corporations back in the day, Father, they donated their time to build these churches.
Oh, absolutely. Rob, 35 years ago, I was in the Mon Valley. And one of the tragedies of what's happened to us economically in these parts is that area where we had 9 Orthodox churches within 6 radius miles in the Mon Valley. And right now, there is only one that is functioning full time.
Oh.
The rest of those beautiful churches are sitting dormant.
That's just so sad.
Yeah, and the craftsmanship they put into those, and really their heart and soul whenever they're part of, helping to even fund or even do some of the work in those churches, is like your heart and soul's into it.
What were you going to say, Father?
I mean, the iconography, which is paramount in Orthodox churches, is just resplendent. And to think about those buildings, perhaps, eventually having to be taken down, it's heartbreaking. And I keep hoping and praying that somehow, the economic redevelopment of this area will reach into parts like the Mon Valley, so that perhaps with repopulation, some of those holy places can be restored to their proper use.
Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church in Ambridge, I've been there many times. I've helped them with certain things that they do. The Bar-Lamas family, dear friends of mine, the Kara Christos family. One thing that I have learned, Father, and I'm not saying anything negative towards any other denomination, but especially in the Orthodox Church, a lot of young people are still highly involved, fundraisers and doing different things and attending services. So the thing that really pleases me is I see a lot of young people, and then I've been reading in a lot of papers nationally and locally, the Trib and PG both printed stories about my church, the Catholic Diocese. The numbers are on the rise. So there are some young people that are still buying into their faith in a big way, and that's a good thing.
There are many young people who are coming and gravitating to the church, and in particular to the oldest of the churches, which is the Roman Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church, where there is an influx of young people who have no ethnic, connection to our churches, but they're seeking out, the earliest form of the church, and the church is growing in many areas. You look at the Greek Orthodox Church in Mount Lebanon, and it's overflowing. The same thing in Canonsburg.
That's fantastic.
And the North Hills up in Cranberry. I mean, those areas, the churches that were built not that long ago either, are already almost filled to capacity.
That's
whereas we're holding our own in East Pittsburgh, but we still have young people. I mean, especially, I do see people this weekend that I don't see very often throughout the year.
Well, maybe they're going to hear you on the radio today, and they're going to say, we need to get there more than just at Easter time. Let me just say this. He mentioned East Pittsburgh, Frank, and I'm sure people who know their history, and I love the city of Pittsburgh, and we're getting ready to put it in the spotlight with the draft, but just to give people an idea, those who live in Cranberry and Wexford and the North Hills and great communities like Mount Lebanon where the population is growing, Father, I know you'll agree with this. You turn back the hands of time, George Westinghouse, East Pittsburgh, the steel industry, talk about a thriving metropolis, and a lot of that stuff we're still enjoying today, such as your church. I don't think people realize, I've said at one time, Grand Street was like Wall Street, and because of the workers and because of the men who were a part, like Carnegie, Frick, Morgan, Westinghouse, a lot of these places that we talk about of worship were built because of those people who were on the streets and in our community at that time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my grandparents immigrated here in the early part of the 20th century, and they're the ones with their meager income that they were making because, of course, they came to America with no real skills, so to speak, and they worked in the factories, and they took their nickels and dimes back then, which doesn't sound like much, but then it did add up, and they're the ones that sacrificed to establish these churches. And then my parents' generation are the ones that built the newer churches. So there is a long history and a lot to be thankful for what our predecessors did for us.
Amen. Absolutely. Amen. Well, listen, have a blessed holiday. And if you ever need my help, please reach out, okay?
Rob, it's great to talk to you again. And likewise, Frank, too. I want Frank to know that when I learned of your father's passing, I did remember him in prayers, as it was always a pleasure to speak to Joe.
Well,
thank you very much.
I'm going to tell you something real quick that I've never told your father. Anytime you were on hold, he would tell me during the commercial break, when we come back, put Father Joe on first.
Oh, yes.
So we appreciated you, too, and I know how much Joe, meaning Frank's dad, respected you, okay?
Well, thank you so much. And I do listen to you online periodically when I have the presence of mind to pull up last Sunday's show. So I do enjoy it. I just don't get the opportunity to talk to you since I'm in church at 8 o'clock.
Well, listen, you're in spirit with us, and again, thanks for calling today. You made our day, okay?
All right, Rob. God bless you.
God bless you. That's what Pittsburgh is right there, man.
Yeah, that's all that's those groups of people from all over the world that have built areas. And it's sad to see when some places aren't doing as well, but as some of these areas grow up and things become pricey, those are the areas people do flock to. So, eventually they will get that chance to grow back again. Well,
let me tell you something. Your sister, Jody, you, your other sister, your brother, Joey, your father, your mother, I've been kind of a small part of it. One of the things that I always admired about your company, your dad, every holiday, every tradition, we always made sure that we had something in store so people could come to the neighborhood grocer, which the principles were founded many years ago with Coons Market, and your family coming up on, hard to believe, they've been there since 1967 as far as his father taking over this company, that we have those traditional items and people can go home and, celebrate the traditions that their grandparents and great-grandparents who came to this country celebrated because they wanted to feel connected to the old country.
Oh, definitely. We carry what people are looking for, and then the other side of that, too, is we close on the days that, on these holy days so that people can celebrate, and be with their family. That's what we're here. That's what we're all here for, is to be with each other and to be with family and enjoy times together. It's not all work. And be able to get that extra time with your families is important to us as a company, important to what should be important to the rest of human beings, and quite generally.
I agree.
It's not all work.
All right, we're going to come back. Chuck, we've made you wait a little bit, but the father always takes precedence. So stay with us. Chuck, coming up next, and we'll wrap up the show and draw some lucky listener's name for a $25 gift certificate. The Schmutzers, John, Justin, and grandson are coming up next on the Rob Pratt Sunday Get-Together, KDKA.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKARadio.com.
Just don't do it. Just don't go another day climbing in and out of that unsafe, ugly old bathtub. Today's the day to step into a gorgeous new shower from PJ Fitzpatrick. The jacuzzi shower system from PJ Fitzpatrick features a low entry threshold. Just walk right in. The jacuzzi shower is luxurious, affordable, and installs in just one day. Plus, PJ will include a free shower seat and safety bars for all customers this month. Visit trustpj.com today for your free design consultation.
Hi, Paul Alexander here to let you know that KDKA has planned a fabulous 5-day Arizona getaway this September, and it's filling up fast. My wife, Shelley, and I want you to join us for an unforgettable trip based in beautiful Flagstaff, a relaxed mountain town that makes the perfect home base. From there, we'll explore the incredible red rocks of Sedona, travel by rail to the breathtaking Grand Canyon, a bucket list spot that everyone needs to see at least once. And then we'll take in the stunning scenery around Lake Powell with its deep blue water and wide open views. It's the perfect mix of sightseeing, natural beauty, and plenty of time to just enjoy where we are. And September is truly the sweet spot. Comfortable weather, no summer crowds, and everything planned for you. No guessing, no stress. Just show up and enjoy Arizona. Space is limited. Seats are disappearing quickly. Visit travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Again, travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Can't wait to see you there.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we got less than 4 minutes, so we have to make it quick. We got some folks waiting in the wings, but if we don't get to all of you, you still qualify for the $25 gift certificate drawing. Okay, let's get to Chuck first out of Shaler. Wants to talk ham cabbage. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Before I give you my recipe, my mom said she's going to listen today, so I got to wish my mom, Janet, a happy 79th birthday on Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
I'll try not to screw up my recipe. Mine is similar to what Patty made with leftover ham. I got a foil pan. I put a little coating of beer in there, just enough to give a little water, a little liquid. I had a half a head of cabbage, chopped that up loosely, put that in there, chopped up an onion, and a little piece of garlic. I let that simmer till it softened up a little bit. Then I took my leftover ham and I cubed it up, put that in there. And I had a can of the whole baby white potatoes. I drained them out, put them in there, and I took some chicken broth, just enough to cover everything. And I let it simmer for about 30 minutes to let it cook down. And then I wrapped it in foil and let it sit for another 30 minutes and let all the juices soak up in there. And it was just so tender and juicy. And you didn't need any spices because you have all the salt from the ham.
Yeah, you definitely pull a lot of flavor out of the ham when you do that. So not a great simple way, but an easy way to use up leftovers.
Good stuff.
Well, I had a half a head of leftover cabbage, so I had to use that. So it was what I had on hand, and it come out good. And it's something easy, and you didn't spend much on it.
All right, real quick, Chuck. Best advice your mother ever gave you?
Work hard.
There you go.
Be honest.
Well, you've done both. And you're a heck of a cook, too. I got to move on. Thank you for the call. Let's go now to Bonnie. Bonnie, 2 minutes, all yours. Go ahead. Welcome to KDKA.
Hey, Rob. The best and easiest sweet potato recipe. You take a can of Bruce's, the big can, a can of apple pie filling, and a can of whole cranberry sauce, and some pecans if you like pecans.
Mm-hmm.
Put it all in and put it in a crock pot for 4 hours. So delicious.
Hey, what's Bruce's? What is that?
That's the brand of sweet potato or yam.
Sweet potato.
I never.
Potatoes.
That's the first time
It's the only one that I use.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good.
Bonnie,
Yeah,
good,
very good.
good stuff. So where are you? You're calling from Baden? Oh, okay. Well, my neck of the woods.
Your neck of the woods, yes, Rob. Yes.
Hey, listen.
I listen to you all the time.
Well, thanks, Bonnie. I appreciate it. Baden's a nice little community, isn't it?
It is. Well, I'm in the Clementi Borough, but my address is Baden, you know.
I was
on the hill.
Yeah, I know exactly. But I was actually on what you could call the main drag of Baden the other day, and you and I are old enough. You remember when Freedom had a downtown?
Yeah, right.
Isn't it, they put the highway in 65? They literally they didn't they, Bonnie? They took out the entire downtown of Freedom.
Oh, jeez.
Yes,
it's amazing.
That's right. Yes.
Hey, be good, okay?
I am. You too.
All
You're
right.
doing a good job, Rob. Thank you.
Thanks, Bon. Yeah, my grandfather had a store there, and he was always looking for the next big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't care. Knock it down. Give me the check.
He saw the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a short break. We'll come back. Stay with us.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor, very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. It's coming fast. But we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city, this is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Looking for the best of New Orleans? Let AAA take you to the heart of the Big Easy September 7th through the 11th, 2026. Enjoy round-trip air from Pittsburgh, 4 nights right on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, and unforgettable experiences, including the New Orleans School of Cooking, Mardi Gras World, the National World War II Museum, a Louisiana Swamp Boat Tour, Laura Plantation, and a jazz dinner cruise, plus 8 delicious meals and more, all starting at $2,865 per person, double occupancy. Space is limited. Visit your local AAA branch or call 1-800-354-8761 today.
Go back in time at Ian Miller Antique Mall in Verona, where you can save 20% during their April spring sale through April 15th. Find that toy or doll from your childhood when you browse 4 floors of antiques from over 100 vendors with new items added daily. Ian Miller Antique Mall is at 614 East Railroad Avenue, Verona. Open Tuesday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The April spring sale runs through April 15th. Call 412-828-3288 and like them on Facebook.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I don't mean to brag, but it's about Coons Market, so it's okay. This is what really separates us from everyone else. This is why locally owned, independently operated, the neighborhood grocer, people who celebrate holidays that have been handed down from generation to generation. They call this show, we had one of our best shows ever to celebrate Greek Orthodox Easter. That's what your dad wanted. That's what Jody Zima, your CEO, that's what you want, Frank. And that's why I believe in my heart of hearts there's more of a demand for Coons Market now than ever before. We're not a big box store. We're your neighbors.
We're one of the only independent stores here, grocers in Pittsburgh.
One of the few in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there's other cities that have some more, but, Pittsburgh, it's really grown down and be able to survive, but you have to focus on the people in Pittsburgh, which we always do, and that we're local stores. We're right there in people's neighborhoods.
Love it. All right, we're going to draw this week's winner, if you will. Let's do it. Give me that $25 gift certificate winner.
This week's winner, Patty in Dormont.
All right, listen, Patty, get that gift card. We're going to send it to you and get to Coons Market and enjoy. In the meantime, Frank is going to head back to home, and then he'll be back with us next week, and we'll do another great job giving you all the recipes, tips, and tricks, and ideas that you need when it comes to delicious food that you can serve for your family at a Coons Market near you. Now, coming up next, the entire Schmutzer family is in the building. We got the grandson, we've got Justin, we've got John. We're going to take window and door, vinyl siding related questions. So if you have anything, call us, 866-391-1020. In my hand, I have prepared a number of things to let you know exactly when it's time to get those windows replaced. And speaking of Metropolitan Windows, you can watch the entire thing unfold, kdkradio.com. Click on KDK Watch, and you can hear it at the same time. And if you want to get that Odyssey app, you can do that. Download it on your phone. It's a free app, AUDACY, or you can get it to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and see everything happening in our studio, or you can simply do it the conventional way. KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020. Rob Taylor next with the news. It's 9 o'clock.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 49 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A large water main break flooded parts of Route 22 overnight. That happened near Old William Penn Highway and the Spitzer Toyota location in the Monroeville area. Drivers in that area should use caution as crews are working to assess and repair the water main this morning. In the city of Pittsburgh, a police detective pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant. Well, he was bitten by a dog. Another officer shot and killed the dog. Then officers chased down the man and took the man into custody. This all happened around 3:45 Saturday afternoon in the 100 block of Knox Avenue. That's in Knoxville. A man with that outstanding warrant fled into a building when officers arrived, and a foot pursuit ensued. During the pursuit, the detective suffered multiple puncture wounds when a dog escaped from his area, and that dog, as mentioned, bit the detective with multiple puncture wounds. The detective was transported to the hospital in stable condition. Meanwhile, the man with the warrant is in the Allegheny County Jail. U.S. and Iranian delegations failed to reach a deal to end the war between them, and CBS News correspondent Shauna Mizell has more.
Vance, along with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, spent more than 20 hours in face-to-face negotiations in Islamabad, Pakistan, hoping to reach a deal to further advance last week's ceasefire.
We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
KDK Radio News Time, it's 9:02. Let's get to the accurate of the forecast next.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural, drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series at Heinz Hall, presented by University of Pittsburgh, announces its 26-27 season. 7 events to challenge your mind, enlarge your world, and make you laugh. With Anderson Cooper, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, historian Anne Applebaum, financial journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, and the former U.S. Ambassador to China, Nicholas Burns. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings clouds, some sun, and a warmer day with a high of 78, and it stays warm tonight as clouds build with a low of 62. Then watch for a shower or two for tomorrow into the early afternoon, then some sun, high 77, but the warmth really builds in starting Tuesday. Watch for an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, the high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Metropolitan Window Company. Information on the program is intended solely to further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, again, if you're in that Metropolitan Window video screen, kdkradio.com, click on KDK Watch, a window of opportunity to see a whole lot of those schmutzers. We've got Justin, we've got the grandson, and we've got the man, the myth, the legend, John Schmutzer. So before we get into windows and everything that you do, this is really nice to see a family that I have a lot of respect for in the building. So let's talk about this grandson who we've shared some stuff about him before off the air that I think it will be a great way to start today's program. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Rob. And it's a pleasure to be here again. And yes, I asked my oldest grandson, Matthew, whether he wanted to come down to KDKA and see how everything works. And he said, sure, Pap. So Matthew is in, you're 16, you're a sophomore? You're a freshman. You're a freshman. Yeah. Great hockey player. And he's just a great kid. And I consider him having what they call the 4 A's. He's very athletic. He has the academics, the personality, and what's the fourth one? I think it's the looks. But it's called the 4 A's, and Matthew certainly has all those attributes.
And Matthew, you're looking at someone who has none of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so congratulations to that. But let's talk about what he did as far as school is concerned. This guy's got a heart bigger than life. I mean, and that really stood out when you told me this story.
Well, he did. About a year ago, I was on YouTube, and he saw a video. I saw a video, and it was Matthew, and he did a Bible reading, a very short Bible reading, and then he said, "Let's talk about it." And so for maybe the next 5 to 7 minutes, he would talk about the reading that he just said, and he has done this every day for what was it, Matt? 12 months?
Yeah, just about.
And he took a little breather from doing it because he has a lot of challenges in school. He's taken a lot of advanced academic courses, but he told me today that he was going to go back and continue to do it.
All right, so Matt, this is how and why I get paid, because I ask these questions. So here we go. Let me ask you, what made you decide to do that? And that's really spiritual, but there had to be something that just made you say, I got to do this.
Yeah. So it was in July. I went on a church retreat, like a little mission trip. And I got back and I just felt like this calling that, like, you know, I feel like I need to use my voice and like spread the word of God, you know, try to have an impact on others.
And obviously it had an impact because we're here talking about it on the world's first radio station.
Right.
What do you think about this young man, Justin?
I think it's incredible. I mean, for him to have the courage and the drive to do something like this, you know, in a world like today, I mean, that's just great. Very admirable.
Well, here's the thing. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. One of the things that I first remember about you and your wife is the fact that your spirituality, obviously the Catholic diocese, and today's Orthodox Eastern. We just had Father Joe on from East Pittsburgh and that wonderful church. But recently in the newspaper that is the Trib and the PG, and I also read it in a national publication, the numbers as far as the Catholic diocese are on the rise. So young people are buying into their faith, right, John?
Well, I believe the younger generations they're looking, they're searching. And for so long, you know, people just didn't care. But the younger generation, they're searching for answers, and they're coming to churches, whether it doesn't matter if it's Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, whatever. But they're looking for answers. They're looking for something to believe in. And I think it's just a great movement that is happening in our society today.
All right, so big picture, Matt, before we get on to the business of Windows, something that will be a part of your life for a long time, what are your future plans? Do you have any thoughts about life after this thing that is education?
I think I definitely want to go into the business field for sure. Hopefully it's alongside my pap and uncle. But I know for sure my goal for education alone is to get into Notre Dame. That's like my big goal for...
Finally, somebody goes besides Duquesne to Notre Dame.
Right.
Got to give those other Catholics a little bit of a high five. You know who my dear friend was for many years was Lou Holtz.
Oh, really?
Who just passed away. Very close friends. Yeah, good man. And there's something about that place for sure.
Definitely. You can feel it.
Well, I think your grandfather and your dad and your uncle, if you need help, even me, we'll figure it out. But, you know, just to see and to hear a young person this age who understands what the big picture is all about, that's got to make you really happy.
It does. He's a very unique individual. He's wanted to go to Notre Dame. He's 16 now, probably at the age of 10. He knew he wanted to go to Notre Dame.
So then you would agree with me when I do my draft show today, this is what I want the Steelers to do. They've got 12 picks. I want them to get rid of some of those picks, trade up. Giants don't need a quarterback. Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. I want Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers and play just as that former Notre Dame running back did who played for Coach Holtz, Jerome Bettis. Now, would you agree that would be a good idea?
That would be tremendous, yeah.
See, that's the only person in the building that will agree with me on that, but I appreciate it. Listen, God bless, young man, and you give us all a lot of hope. Keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know what I would have done if somebody put me on KDK radio at that time? I'd have went, I'd have been like, I couldn't have got the words out. So you did really, really well. All right, so we're going to talk about what makes it the decision time to get new windows. So I got a few things that I've written down here, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's just do the overview. And by the way, you got a window question, door question, you name it, we can handle it. Phones are wide open, 866-391-1020. So how goes it at Metropolitan Window? Justin, it's great to see you again.
You too, Rob. Thank you for having us. Things are going very well. You know, with the cold and variable weather we've been having, especially through cold winters, I mean, most people kind of get a little apprehensive and a little scared to replace windows and doors. But we do work year round, you know, as long as it's warm enough for our guys' hands not to freeze. They can definitely install windows and doors. But it's also a good thing as in regards to whenever the weather starts to break, it kind of nudges people to remember how cold their homes were or how uncomfortable they were, and so that it really puts a bug in their system that, you know, give us a call and have us come out and take a look at those windows and doors and see if there really is an underlying problem there that we can help you solve.
So let's talk about business. And I was out past, I had to get a root canal, so it wasn't a pleasurable drive, but I did see your vehicle there. And if I didn't have to get to the dentist and I wasn't in such pain, I would have stopped. But let's talk about your business and where you are right now heading into another season. John.
Well, again, like Justin said, the business is doing extremely well. People are calling every day to have us come out and evaluate their window condition and to give them an estimate on getting our phenomenal Infinity by Marvin fiberglass window. And what's really neat today, Rob, is people are really concerned about buying a window that's going to last. I had several people at the showroom yesterday, and they said, tell us about this fiberglass window that you advertise. Mm-hmm. And we go through the 5 different materials that are available within the framing of the window. And if you really, really think about it, and people say to me all the time, you're right, fiberglass frames are the best insulated, the most longest lasting window frame that's on the market that windows are made of today. And why is that? Because fiberglass does not expand and contract like a vinyl window or like a composite window. So it's going to maintain its dimensional integrity forever. It cannot change shapes. So because of our great product, because of our longevity in the window business, we've been in business now 48 years.
Wow.
And I remember Matthew 14 years ago when we were at the Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show, he actually handed out brochures at the age of 2. And I have a video of that, and I still have it. But anyway, if people are interested or even thinking about getting windows, give us a call and let us show you what we have to offer, and we can give you a free estimate. And we also have some finance options available too.
All right, so why don't we give his parents a little bit of credit, because we're all kind of taking credit for him being in the studio and how bright he is and passionate and full of faith. So who's his parents?
I don't know. No. My daughter, Melissa, who also works in the family business, and his father's Matthew Harmon, same as Little Matt. I call him Big Matt and Little Matt. Big Matt doesn't like it when I call him Big Matt, but they're great parents. They have Matthew has a younger brother and a younger sister, and my daughter and son-in-law is doing a phenomenal job raising the children.
They surely are. Hey, Matt, again, thanks for coming today, okay? Now you can relax, kick back a little bit. All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Lower utility bills, drafts, cold air, difficult operation, excessive exterior noise, all of that stuff. Metropolitan Windows. When is the best time? One window or the entire house? Hey, this is the season, but you're going to want to get in because spots are filling up quickly. 412-655-8411, metropolitanwindows.com, Clairton Boulevard, Infinity from Marvin, fiberglass windows and doors, and they're out there in that Pine Plaza, too, where Justin is in the north out there in Wexford. So short break, coming back. Any questions? 866-391-1020.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. People often ask me why our mattresses last so long. The answer is simple. We build them right. Not only are OMF mattresses durable, they give you peace of mind from day one. When you invest in a mattress from OMF, you're investing in better sleep tonight and smart savings for years to come. No more frequent replacements, no more wasted time shopping. To learn more about the true value of durability, visit originalmattress.com and read our latest blog on getting the most from your mattress investment.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know that convenience is key. That's why we've made mattress shopping simple and stress-free. Shop in-store or online, whatever works best for you. No high-pressure sales tactics or fake promotions. Our prices are clearly marked, and we openly compare our products to other brands. With our streamlined selection, you won't be overwhelmed by duplicate options, and our 365-day comfort policy provides for peace of mind. Experience the ease of buying factory direct. Visit OMF today for better sleep tonight.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we are back. So let's talk about when is the right time. And I believe now is the time because you got some nice warm weather ahead. They can get you scheduled and you can get the enjoyment out of them. And if you got a few shekels set aside, plus as John mentioned going into the break, they have some ways that they can give you some credit to get it done too. But listen, one window or the entire house, they treat you the same. Here's the big ticket item coming off of the winter in which we all got hit hard with those gas bills. Nothing against these utility companies. It is what it is, what it is. It was a harsh winter, but I know mine skyrocketed. So let's talk about how these windows can actually lower utility bills, not just in the wintertime, but when the AC is running during the summertime. Justin.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. If you live in a home that is about 15 to 20 years old, there's a very good chance that these windows and doors that you have currently are costing you money, and you just might not see it except in your wallet. So knowing the right products out there to replace with, and you know, just opening and closing your windows. I can't tell you how many times I'll be at a home and a homeowner might notice that one window is just really failed or starting to rot. And then we go around, I'm like, okay, let's just take a look at all the other windows in the home. So we go walk around and we're actually opening up other windows that they've never even used before. And those ones have started to fail too. So you should always, at least once or twice a year, most people today, you know, with allergies and, you know, other health conditions, some of them don't really use the windows that often. And so they rely on AC and, you know, their furnace to just heat and cool their home. But opening and closing your windows routinely, you know, a couple times a year, just to get that airflow in the frames and things like that, that could be very beneficial. Or else, if you had a wood product, for example, it could start to rot it out. But you can always have us come out, just get a free estimate and take a look at your condition of your windows, and we'll be very honest with you. That's, you know, we pride ourselves on honest and integrity. We've gone out to homes and actually told folks that they don't need windows. So we're not going to force something on you that you don't need. We're very honest with that. So give us a call. We can come out to your home and at least check out your windows and see what kind of issues you are having. If you are feeling drafts or, you know, some windows are just giving you tightness of opening and closing, they're not functioning the way they should. It's a great opportunity for us to come out and help you out.
So we got anything cooking this time of year in the peak of the season, maybe to offer somebody a special, anything, John?
Well, we certainly have a special. We're offering 20% off our retail price list, and it's a great opportunity to save dollars. And again, like I said, we have financing options available that you can take a position in, and which will help you be able to afford getting new windows. And that's the key. But like Justin was hitting to, one of the most important things, Rob, is to make sure that you're dealing with a good, reputable company. A company that is transparent. One of the couples that came into the showroom yesterday complimented one of my salespeople when he was in their home and said, you know, he was the most professional most knowledgeable individual, and they had like 4 estimates on getting their windows replaced. And they decided, because of our professionalism, our transparency, our knowledge, that they decided to do business with Metropolitan. And along with the fact that they wanted a fiberglass window.
All right, so I'm going to bring this up because Joe Potocznik was here yesterday, JP Roofing, great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about you because I brought up the private equity thing, and it's running rampant right now. I mean, it's to the point, and I'm not mentioning any names, but I see all the things that are up, billboards, this, and look, more power to them. If it works, it works, it works. But I'm so proud to represent Coons Market, that generation, of course, the Dentisi Zima family. You know, we're building a new store in Bellevue. It's almost a lost art. So now more than ever, Justin coming up, you know, Matt maybe someday, obviously your daughter. It's crucial, in my opinion, before you do anything or fall for anything, you need to go with people you know, who you see in your community and have been around like you have for 48 years.
Well, you bring up a very good point, Rob. You know, it's almost like the family business structure or tradition is being eaten up. Sometimes it's because the second or third generation doesn't want involved in the business that their family has had for years. But people have to be very, very cautious, especially in the home improvement business, because these private equity firms are buying up these companies. They're putting a bunch of them together in a platform, and they create some fancy name for the platform. And they really don't care that much about profit as they do about revenue. And they want to run the revenue up to billions of dollars, and then they sell it off. Well, what happened most recently is one of the platforms went bankrupt. And now I think, Justin, how many companies were in this platform?
Total, it was near almost $1 billion worth of companies together collectively. Okay. But it was a huge, disaster.
Right. And now what happens to the people that gave these companies a deposit to get work done?
Yeah.
They lost their money. What about the vendors and the manufacturers that produce product for these companies? They're out all that money. All the customers that bought from them, where's their warranty now? So this is why it's so important for people to make sure that they do their due diligence in researching the company that they're doing business with, and support local family-owned businesses, not only in getting windows, but like Coons Market or True Value Hardware, those individual stores. That's the backbone of our economy, and we can't allow it to get away.
Well, tomorrow night, to kind of tie it into the draft, I have a guy stopping by, used to be the Pittsburgh Restaurant President Association, Joey DeSalvo, DeSalvo Station, family-owned business, Latrobe. Article in the Post-Gazette talking about Pittsburgh-owned family restaurants for the draft. Mm-hmm. My friend Nikki Giannopoulos, all these different people. So we're going to talk about that, and that's why it always comes down to buy local, do business with local, and no one's more local than Metropolitan Window Company. You can reach them at 412-655-8411, 412-655-8411, metropolitanwindows.com. It's infinity from Marvin, fiberglass windows, doors, entry doors, all of that stuff. We're going to continue. And if you have any questions out there, you want to jump in and talk to the experts for simply a toll-free phone call, free advice, free call, get it, the information that you need, then hopefully you'll follow up with them at Metropolitan. Again, our number, 866-391-1020. Their number, 412-655-8411. We'll be back.
When you invite a contractor into your home, you got to trust they know what they're doing. You want to feel good. That's why CertaPro Painters and me have gotten along for more than a decade. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Take advantage of getting the most professional job you can and know that each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your pre-estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. And take advantage of the spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th.
Here's Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Draft weekend is coming to Pittsburgh. Kick it off at Nova Place. Join them Thursday, April 23rd from noon to 6 for a free, family-friendly afternoon with live music, DJs, games, food trucks, and local vendors. Park at the Nova Place Garage, just steps from the draft footprint. Test your skills in the mini combine, grab a drink at Federal Galley, and get ready for an unforgettable football weekend. Happy home improvement season from Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Home equity loan rates are as low as 5.25%. For full terms and to see if you qualify, visit AllegiantFCU.org. Membership eligibility required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA. Schley Deck and Fence Company. Call today for an estimate on your rotten, rusted, paint shipping railings. Get your railings safe again. Call 412-515-6575.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean. Buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by your local AAA travel office. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, Ross Park Mall, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 52 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh police detective is recovering after he was bitten by a dog while pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant. That dog was shot and killed by another officer, and then the man with the warrant, he was chased down and apprehended by Pittsburgh police. This whole incident started around 3:45 Saturday afternoon in the 100 block of Knox Avenue in Knoxville. That man fled into a building when officers arrived. Foot pursuit ensued. That's when the detective suffered multiple puncture wounds when he was bitten by a dog. He was transported to the hospital in stable condition. The man with the warrant, though, he's in the Allegheny County Jail. Well, Penn Township and Penn Borough merge. Two Westmoreland County municipalities could become one, but first, there will be a public meeting on Monday at 6 p.m. about the possible merger. Meeting will be held in the LA room of Penn Trafford High School Monday at 6. Trib reports residents can ask questions, give input on the proposed merger prior to the issue being placed on the November ballot. Penn Borough is the much smaller of the two municipalities. It only has 435 residents. Penn Township has 20,000. If it happens, Penn Borough would be absorbed by Penn Township, forming a united council and other shared public services. KDK Radio News Time is 9:31. Next update's at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDK.
This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. You know that little voice in your head that keeps whispering, I wish I was thin. I wish this summer could be different. I wish I wasn't so self-conscious in shorts and a bathing suit. The wishing that you could have more energy and move better. The wishing stops now. Picture this. You this summer strutting the beach on your vacation, feeling good about who you are, feeling the breeze on your knees. Let's turn those wishes into your reality. Let's not procrastinate. Call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a Best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
April's the perfect time to refresh your home with beautiful custom window treatments from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Lachina makes custom products in their own Pittsburgh factory. 60 years of quality craftsmanship, draperies, blinds, shades, shutters, and upholstery. Low factory direct prices. Go to LachinaDrapery.com, shop Lachina's pre-shop at home service. Visit their showrooms or call 412-665-4900. Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Quality you deserve with prices you'll appreciate.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A much warmer day is in store today with clouds, some sun at times, and a high reaching 78, but clouds continue to build through tonight, keeping it warm with a low of 62, followed by a shower or two tomorrow into the early afternoon, then some sun, high 77. Tuesday brings clouds and sun with a spotty afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Metropolitan Window Company.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, this is the family. And Justin, you know, your dad's saying 48 years. We've been talking about private equity, locally owned, independently operated, and that's who you are. You realize what your mission has to be and what you have to do as far as staying the course, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am so blessed and fortunate, you know, that mom and dad have built Metropolitan Window Company with such a solid foundation and great values. That my job as second generation and my brother and my sister who are also in the business is just to extend the longevity for another 40 plus years at least, you know. So, and never forget where we came from too. You know, one of the things that I admire that my dad says all the time is, you know, never be too big to sell one storm door or one window, and always, you know, take care of that customer who just needs help. So, you know, because, you know, who knows? You know, that one storm door might turn into 20 windows that their neighbor needs or something. You do such a great job for that one storm door, that one small window that needs replaced, and leave a good impression on them. You know, that's the reputation that we have. So
someday when Matt's like 10, 15, 20 years older, Justin will say, yeah, that Rob Pratt passed away. And you remember him. You were in the radio station with him. Well, let me tell you, the reason I'm still here today is because of hard work. Hard work never hurt anyone. Right, John?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Maggie and I raised the kids to appreciate the hard work that we did. And but I do want to say this. You know, we are a family business, 48 years. But the manufacturer that we deal with, Marvin, they are a family-owned business being operated by the fourth generation. They've been in business now, I believe it's 113 years.
Yeah.
So their philosophy, their mission statement, their vision parallels Metropolitan Window Companies. So,
well, the other thing, and I was going to, in fact, you must have been reading my mind. I wanted to talk about Marvin. We talked about these other companies. Forget about what you're paying. What type of product are you getting?
Oh,
that's what I mean, compared to what you guys are doing in this true time-tested brand that is a family-owned brand that's been around forever.
Absolutely. I mean, every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the window business, except a few, carry what's called a vinyl window. Oh, it's plastic, okay? And if you think about plastic windows, what happens? Expansion, contraction, they lose their dimensional integrity. But why do all these companies carry vinyl windows? Because they're cheap and they are afraid to sell a good quality product that costs a few dollars more because they fear that they're not going to sell the job. And so they sell an inferior product and give the homeowner a good price. And how can you have a window that costs $400 or $500 and expect it to be installed properly by a professional, by a true craftsman?
Well, but here's the other thing. Your employees, and we got to get to these phones, but your employees are a part of your company, Justin.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they're fully trained on Marvin's installation certifications. So, you know, we pride ourselves on doing things correctly, even if it does cost us a little bit more time and money to do the job right. We are definitely not a company that is just going to come right in and just put a brand new window frame or door inside of a rotted or compromised opening. It just doesn't do anybody any favors. It's going to lead to more damage down the road.
Listen, if you got to keep going back to fix a problem, you got a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, do you like that? You can use that. Let's go to Chuck in Shaler for the folks from Metropolitan Windows. Hey, Chuck, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing good.
What's up? Go ahead.
John, I had 2 questions for you. I'm delivering to a house one day. It was about 20 degrees outside, very sunny, and I could feel my face getting really hot. I'm like, where's this heat coming from? And I looked up. It was the sun reflecting off their upstairs window. It was like tinted, but it was reflecting so much heat. You know, how does it, you know, what kind of window would that be to keep that sun out of your house like that?
Well,
to
Chuck,
keep your house, you know.
Yeah, great question. That glass has a low E coating. Low E coating is baked into the surface of the glass, and it will reflect radiant heat from coming into your home during the summertime. So it bounces off the glass back to the exterior. Conversely, that low E coating, and there's different grades of it, but low E generally will also reflect radiant heat from escaping from your home and bouncing off the glass and going back into your home during the winter months. So it's a year-long insulated glass unit that will save energy.
So if you're inside looking out your window, does it look dark from the inside, or does it look like a normal window?
There's a slight shade to it. But if you did all your windows with the same level of low E glass, the chances are you're not going to notice it unless you had one of the original windows beside a new window. But the more coatings that you have, the darker the shade of the glass when you look out or when you look in.
Yeah, because that would be perfect. I have a Cape Cod house, and the upstairs gets hot. We don't use it, you know, to keep the heat. Would that be a big savings in the summertime, keeping the heat out of the house?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But you also have to make sure that the attic or crawl space is also ventilated. You know, to allow that heat to escape.
Yeah, JP Roofing put some roof vents in there when he did my roof, so that did help a little bit.
Yeah.
And my second question was, because I'm probably in about the next year, I'm looking to get some new windows. I'm waiting until I retire. I've been saving some money up, so when I do it, whatever I can afford, I'm just going to pay cash.
Sure.
How much is a standard, normal window, a good window? So I have a ballpark. Am I looking at $1,500, $2,000, $2,500? So when I call somebody up, I at least know that I have a certain amount of money to get the job done.
Yeah, well, Chuck, there's a lot of variables that will determine what the price is. The color of the window on the interior and the exterior, if you want different colors, the level of low E coating that you want, whether you want internal grids between the glass that give you that colonial design, or whether you want simulated divided lights, which adds dimension to the interior and exterior of the window. And also, it depends on what type of installation you want, whether you want an insert application or whether you want a full tear-out, which means that we tear everything out going down to the studs, which in my opinion is a good way to have windows put in, because now you can inspect the framing of the home and you can insulate the window opening properly. But Chuck, honestly, depending upon all those factors, for a good quality window, and like I said before, you have to understand what type of window framing do you want for your window. and I highly recommend the fiberglass for a number of different reasons. But you're probably looking somewhere between $1,800 and $2,000 an opening, depending upon the options that you pick.
Right. Well, I just wanted a ballpark. I know you couldn't give me an exact number, but when I get windows, maybe if I can't afford 10, I'm going to buy 5, but I'm getting the good windows.
That's the way to do it.
I might have to wait.
Chuck,
I might have to wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said I might have to wait another year or two to get the rest of them done, but no, I'm going to. Just like when I got my roof done, I didn't have somebody fly by because there was some issues. So now I know I ain't never going to have to worry about that roof the rest of my life. And when I get my windows put in, I don't have to worry about that the rest of my life.
Chuck, you're very bright because I tell people that all the time. Instead of doing 10 windows and doing them with a cheap, inexpensive plastic window like vinyl, do as many as you can afford and do them right. And then the next year, the year after, you get the rest of them done. But that's a very smart way of doing remodeling. Do what you can afford to do.
Well, thank you, John, for all the time you give me. There were some good answers, but now I know about the windows, about the low E coating, and I definitely want that.
Oh, definitely.
It'll make a big difference in my house.
Definitely.
Hey, Chuck.
Well, thank you, Chuck.
Be good, buddy.
All right. See you, Rob. See you, John.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, retiring after 40 years at UPS. Good guy. Good cook, too.
Yeah.
He might bring some of that food over to try to, make you drop that price a little bit.
Well, depending upon the food, I just
think about all the different foods that you've eaten in these trips that cookies and cakes and pies and cup of coffee and all that.
I remember a couple, a great couple, an older couple. I was there probably around 10 o'clock, and we measured the windows, and he took me downstairs to show me all these certificates that he's earned over the years.
Nice.
And ended up, we had lunch. She made chicken salad on croissants.
Jeez.
Put out a fruit plate. I could write a book.
I know.
But it was enjoyable. I love meeting people and talking with them. We talk more about everything else other than windows because they know they want to deal with Metropolitan because of our reputation. And one thing a lot of our customers do is they do their research. They go on to Google, Yelp, and they read all the reviews about our company. And then they come in either to the showroom or we go out to their home, and I tell them, I said, well, go on Google, read our reviews. And 8 out of 10 will say, hey, that's why you're here. I've already done that.
And they are educated. Like Chuck, people know what they're doing.
Very much so.
All right, let's get our final break. We'll come back. Here's how you can reach them. You can even call today, leave your information. They'll get back to you, 412-655-8411, 412-655-8411. Social media platform is out there, but a good way is always that interactive website, metropolitanwindows.com. We'll be back. Stay with us.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company, larger than light, and brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000. And the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life. your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so we've been all over the page today, but a really good show, and I'm going to give these guys a couple of chances to summarize. But look, exterior noise, visible damage, rot, condensation between the panes, all of the above. You're dealing with this stuff, and also the security aspect, cleaning, spring cleaning, being able to clean the outside from the inside. You need to give them a call. Infinity from Marvin, fiberglass windows. They do doors, entry doors, those storm doors, which I'm a fan of. You may not be, but it's Western Pennsylvania. They can handle it all. So give them a call, 412-655-8411, 412-655-8411, metropolitanwindows.com. Clareton Road out there in the south, in the north, Pine Plaza, that shopping plaza in Wexford. That's where you'll find Justin. So everybody gets a couple of minutes here. So if you will, go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I just really want to emphasize again, most homeowners don't really realize this, but making the wrong choice with windows and doors can sometimes cost you twice or three times. I've been in homes a couple times where the homeowners are on their second or third set of replacement windows. Second or third set of replacement windows, not original. That's crazy.
That shouldn't be.
No, not at all. And so that's why it's just so important to really do your research and find out who you're dealing with, what's the reputation, who owns the company. Because we were talking during the break. Marketing. There's a lot of companies that are very creative and can do a lot of great marketing and trick a lot of people to thinking the wrong things, but really doing your research, knowing who you're dealing with and what you're getting. That's why we sell and offer our customers the Infinity fiberglass window, because it is truly the best material that your windows and door frames can be made out of.
All right, John, we got a couple more for you too, so go ahead.
Well, first of all, what I want to do is thank God that I married a woman named Marilyn. Today's our anniversary.
Is it?
46 years.
Happy anniversary.
And she's still my best friend.
She is, and I know she's gone through some health challenges, but she's great now, strong.
She's great, she's strong, and I'm going to take her out to dinner tonight.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know yet. I was thinking about it last night, but I'll find someplace.
Go see Mr. Corona. Tell him I told you go up to the Lamont, relax a little bit.
Is that open?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's got to be. If it's not, I'd be shocked. I mean, it's Sunday night dining. I mean, you got the draft coming.
I might do that.
Yeah.
That's a good place.
Listen, and how about that story? That guy's been there for 50 years, and he taught school in the Pittsburgh Public Schools full time, but he started as a teenager. Wow. I mean, that's Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Pittsburgh. And Mr. Dunlap obviously did roofing for years.
Yes, he did. Centimark Roofing.
Yeah, so, listen, this is Pittsburgh. This is who we are. But what I'm so proud about you is what you've done, you and Maggie, with your children.
Well, thank you, Rob.
I mean,
she did most of it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you had something to do with it. At least that's how it's supposed to be, right?
Right.
But think about it. I mean, military career, this business, Justin. I mean, his wife. I mean, it really is perfect recipe.
Well, God's been good.
Or as my child said to me one day on 376. They've got a billboard. When are you going to get a billboard? Listen, you realize that you and Maggie and Missy and Justin are more recognizable in this city than I am. And I've been doing...
No.
I'm telling you. People know the Schmutzers. And I mean, I no matter where I'm at, people come up to me. I'll be filming a video in Coons or something. Hey, look, I'm looking to get new windows. I don't want to spend a lot of money. They always give you that, right?
Yeah.
What are these Schmutzer people really like? I'm like, they're really good people. They're really good people. So you are good people. And the thing we don't talk a lot about, and we talk residential, and I get people say this to me all the time because the commercial building came up yesterday with someone. What do you guys do when it comes to commercial?
Well, there are certain commercial jobs that we can handle. It all depends on the size of the project, the number of windows, the logistics of putting a window in. We don't have heavy-duty equipment to go, 10 stories up and to put commercial windows in. A lot of commercial applications, it calls for glazers because there's really just a window frame and glazers come and they just pop the glass in and then put the spline on the exterior to hold the glass in. Or window walls, like you'll see, actually right behind you. That's a window wall system, and we don't do that. We primarily deal residentially, and probably about maybe 5% is commercial. We do a lot of churches, a lot of rectories, some office buildings, but it all depends on the logistics of the project.
All right, again, 412-655-8411, 412-655-8411, metropolitanwindows.com. Matt, nice meeting you. Have a wonderful day, and tell your mom and dad hello, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Man, if I'd have had a voice like that, I'd have been on the network by now. All right, we'll take a break. Stay with us. News next.
The preceding was paid for by Metropolitan Window Company. Information on the program was intended solely to further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor. Very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. It's coming fast. But we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city, this is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not
not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Hi, Paul Alexander here to let you know the KDKA has planned a fabulous 5-day Arizona getaway this September, and it's filling up fast. My wife Shelley and I want you to join us for an unforgettable trip based in beautiful Flagstaff, a relaxed mountain town that makes the perfect home base. From there, we'll explore the incredible red rocks of Sedona, travel by rail to the breathtaking Grand Canyon, a bucket list spot that everyone needs to see at least once. And then we'll take in the stunning scenery around Lake Powell with its deep blue water and wide open views. It's the perfect mix of sightseeing, natural beauty, and plenty of time to just enjoy where we are. And September is truly the sweet spot. Comfortable weather, no summer crowds, and everything planned for you. No guessing, no stress. Just show up and enjoy Arizona. Space is limited. Seats are disappearing quickly. Visit travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Again, travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Can't wait to see you there.
When sinusitis has your nose constantly blocked, life can feel smaller. You're stuck breathing through your mouth, which leads to sleep struggles, snoring that keeps your whole family up, fatigue, and more. The mornings start groggy, the days drag on, and it feels like nothing really helps for long. At Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, relief isn't just one size fits all. Their specialists use a wide range of innovative in-office treatments designed around you, designed to open your sinuses, restore natural breathing, and help you finally sleep through the night. You don't have to keep pushing through. If you're tired of the congestion, the pressure, and the endless cycle of sprays and pills that aren't providing relief, discover a treatment option that works for you at Pittsburgh Sinus Centers. Breathe easier, sleep better, and start feeling like yourself again. Schedule a consultation today. Call Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, 878-231-6036. 878-231-6036. That's 878-231-6036.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 53 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. In the Monroeville area right now, large water main break flooded on parts of Route 22. Happened near William Penn Highway in the Spitzer Toyota location in Monroeville. Drivers in that area should use caution as crews are working to assess and repair that water main in that area of Route 22 this morning. Also, a Pittsburgh police detective who was pursuing a man with an outstanding warrant was bitten by a dog, and in response, another officer shot and killed that dog. Officers then chased down the man who was wanted and took him into custody. The incident started Saturday afternoon around 3:45 in Knoxville on Knox Avenue. A man with that outstanding warrant fled into a building. When officers arrived, a foot pursuit ensued. That's when a dog broke free and bit the detective. The detective suffered multiple puncture wounds. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The man with the warrant is in the Allegheny County Jail. Well, U.S. and Iranian delegations failed to reach a deal to end the war between them. Here's CBS News correspondent Shauna Mizell.
Vance, along with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, spent more than 20 hours in face-to-face negotiations in Islamabad, Pakistan, hoping to reach a deal to further advance last week's ceasefire.
We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
Pittsburgh police still searching for that father and son accused of beating a man over a parking spot. That happened on Thursday night along Federal Street on the north side. The victim told police that 40-year-old Tommy Rozier and his son, 20-year-old Tommy Rozier Jr., attacked him with a pipe, bat, and knife. Victim was in a hospital recovering, had broken ribs. Police thought they